Miles, a frontal boundary, daytime heating, all of it coming together to bring us this next chance of strong to severe thunderstorms this afternoon. That's why we have the tornado watch, and we're going to keep it here and keep you informed on what's going on around central Arkansas. That severe thunderstorm warning, if we want to slide over to storm track 11, Mike, when you get a second. That warning in northern Jefferson County, it looks like it has some hail and some strong wind gusts. In fact, the hail could be as large as 2 inches in diameter. So the storms that develop today will more than likely start off with some hail and strong wind gusts, and then a line will develop in eastern Arkansas. Just got to keep an eye on things here the next couple of hours or so. And that is showing a little bit of a sign of rotation. So I would not be surprised. The NROD is showing right there to the east of Jefferson, southeast of Redfield. Yeah, that's what we're going to be keeping an eye on here in just the next few minutes, with the possibility of more severe weather here in Arkansas. Yeah, so last night, long night, storms developed and moved across the region. And today we're probably going to have to deal with a few more storms. That frontal boundary is not far. Let's go back to Max 1, and I'm going to walk you through the radar summary here. Here we go. Most of the strong storms now developing from Dallas County, Grant into northern Jefferson. This is the one that has the greatest potential of intensifying here in northern Jefferson. That's going to move over southern parts of Lonoke County, eventually into Prairie County. I think our severe weather threat in the Little Rock metro area is not going to last long. Everything kind of shifts to the east here in the next couple of hours this afternoon, but we do have a fairly explosive atmosphere, and those storms are coming together quickly. And if you notice, look how they're kind of kidney bean shaped. Yeah, that's a sign that you've got some rotation, just enough, but more likely some strong winds and the potential for hail because we have so much energy in the atmosphere. So the tornado watch goes into effect now through 8 o'clock tonight. This is our 1 hour radar loop. Storms are spotty right now, but they are expected to congeal and come together in a line in eastern Arkansas. Storms Prediction Center has placed a portion of eastern Arkansas under an enhanced risk of severe weather for this afternoon, but I really think the greatest risk is across the river in Tennessee and Mississippi, even back to where the Little Rock area. And where you have that slided enhanced coming together, that's where you have the tornado watch for today. In terms of the hazards, winds of 60+ miles per hour, possibly hailstones, tennis ball sized in eastern Arkansas. There is a tornado threat for eastern Arkansas as well. And heck, depending on how quickly these storms come together, and they have been developing around central Arkansas, we cannot rule out a tornado. And the severe weather threat continues. The frontal boundary moving through today is going to bring us some drier air, but the northwest flow takes over for Wednesday, and there will be an opportunity for storms that could produce some wind or hail tomorrow over the northern half of the state. And it's primarily hail when you look at the hazards for Wednesday afternoon and evening. Let's go back to storm track 11. What's beginning to concern me a little is that we've got that classic hook signature on that storm, and this is just to the southwest, or I should say to the west, or to the east of Tucker and Sherrill, Arkansas. We can utilize all of our tools and show you that there is some low-level development of rotation there. And I'm going to keep a close eye on what the National Weather Service has to say about this, but they say that there's not much rotation yet with these cells, but they will have strong mid-level mesocyclones to sustain their life, and that will also lead to the large hail threat this afternoon. Again, if you're just joining us, thank you for watching THV 11 Plus 136. I am Tom Brannon. Looks like another active afternoon for a good part of eastern Arkansas today, with possibility of strong storms that could be producing large, very large hail. Also, the possibility of tornadoes, and that's why that tornado watch is up. The frontal boundary is not far. In fact, if we slide back over to Max 1, the front has cleared northwest Arkansas. It has cleared Harrison, the Russellville area, DeQueen. Look at the temperature down in Texarkana. They're at 90. And go back to Max. There we go. This is our visible satellite. So the front in western Arkansas, and you can see the development of some of those storms in eastern Arkansas, where we have temperatures that are in the 80s, 90s in south and southwest Arkansas. That's your storm fuel, and we got plenty of it out there. The boundary is a lifting mechanism. So the front's going to swing through today. Storms are going to be initiated along and ahead of that front. They might be happening a little sooner rather than later, so hopefully we can get this out of the way by the evening hours. But there you go. That's what's going on visibly in terms of the visible satellite. And there's the watch. If you're just joining us, that does include Pulaski, Faulkner, Lone Oak, and also Grant and Jefferson counties in central Arkansas. The storms are firing up in that box right now and are expected to strengthen as we head through the afternoon hours. A severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect until 2:15 that covers northern Jefferson, southern Lone Oak County, and even a little bit of a sliver of southeastern Pulaski County. Storms are expected to continue through the afternoon and the evening hours, and they're expected to spike upwards a bit in their intensity, especially in eastern Arkansas. So if you're one of our neighbors and you're in Prairie County, Monroe, Arkansas County, then you folks will certainly be under the gun here in the next couple of hours as this storm these storms, or this cluster of storms, continues to come together. Dallas, Grant County, Jefferson County, right now, that's where all the activity is. In Pulaski County, we're seeing storms come together just to the northeast of Little Rock, riding along 67, 167, or I-57, whatever you want to call it these days. There it is right there between Jacksonville, Cabot, and Ward. Those storms are also going to continue to come together and get stronger. Storms a little farther to the north. Western White County, that's a formidable cell right there. Let me see if there's anything with it. A little bit of hail possibly developing in that. Yeah, there's a little bit of a hail core there, not much. And it just isn't strong enough yet to show any low-level rotation. But the storms that are happening to our southeast over northern Jefferson County, that's got a little bit more of a hook signature. At least it's a better hook. So that's wrapping up. And I would imagine it's got a little rotation with it. The Weather Service is keeping a close eye on that. That is wrapping up in the mid-levels. I would not be surprised if they throw a warning on that here in just a few minutes. So we're going to keep an eye on that there over northern parts of Jefferson County, southern Lone Oak County. You're watching THV 11 Plus. Maybe you have us on your phone right now at home, and if you have a TV and you have a Samsung TV, you can download the app. It's free. Amazon, Apple TV. There are other ways you can get the THV 11 Plus app. Download it to your television for free and stream along with us. It's real easy to do. Heck, if I can do it, anybody can do it. So there you go. This is what we're watching this afternoon. That's a nasty cell, and I'm keeping an eye on what the Weather Service has to say. I'm also going to keep an eye on the wind fields within this, and there is some rotation. It's broad rotation. Probably have a fairly substantial mesocyclone, strong updraft, so hail is going to become more likely. Let's go to Storm Track 11. And I'll pinpoint the area of concern here on the monitor behind me that does exhibit the sign of some rotation. And there within that area, that where the blues meet the reds there, that's what we're talking about. Rotation, possibly a strong updraft, but we got to keep an eye on it. It may get a little stronger than that and produce something we don't want to have after last night's episode. Rotation, according to our NROT tool, and the greens and blues there, not definitely, not defined, not real tight, but certainly there. And it's a classic looking supercell with that bending, that appendage that is hooking there just to the west-southwest of Tucker. Well, that showed it, looked like it weakened on that last scan, so that's certainly some good news. But if you live in Tucker, Arkansas, that is in northern Jefferson County, then you are getting a pretty good shot of some very heavy rain and quite possibly some hail. And let me turn on our hail. Yeah, let's go back to Storm Track right there. You can see the hail core right there. An inch hail is being registered within that thunderstorm top. Is it reaching the ground? Well, we'll have to wait and see. For those of you that are watching out there and you have some pics you want to send us, 501-376-1111, text them our way. Keeping an eye on some severe thunderstorms coming together, strong thunderstorms that could become severe, now beginning to line up over portions of south central Arkansas. We can take a little bit of a radar tour on Max 1 once again, and the strongest storm is in northern Jefferson County. Grant County, Sheridan's got a pretty good storm happening on top. Down around Princeton and Dallas County, strong storms here. And let me do a 1 hour radar loop, show you how this has all kind of come together. Around the noon hour, we begin to see these. And I noticed, I talked to Simone on the way in, I could see these towers really beginning to come together and develop on the way to work. And I knew that things would probably begin a little bit sooner rather than later. Severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect for 1 inch hail until 2:15 for south central Lone Oak and north central Jefferson counties. That is that polygon. You see all that lightning? Yeah, that is the most formidable storm. There's not much lightning in those other storms that are located in Dallas and Grant counties, but in northern Jefferson County, yeah. And these storms are moving quickly. So again, I think the threat in central Arkansas will be over within the next hour max. So by 3 o'clock here in central Arkansas, oh, that's okay. Here, that was interesting. 3 o'clock here in central Arkansas, we should see the storms settle down and becomes more of an event for eastern Arkansas. Storm is moving to the east at 40 miles per hour, so it's moving along at a pretty good rate at this time. So there we are, joining you this afternoon after a long night for a lot of Arkansans. We're back with you this afternoon, and hopefully this episode won't last as long as yesterday's. In fact, I don't think it will. I'm not expecting it to, but we've got to get that frontal boundary through the state. And the front is over western Arkansas. Temperatures are cooling off there. Dew points are dropping off. The front is a lifting mechanism, so it's going to plow into this unstable air mass and force things to rise. And that's what you're getting. You're getting those strong storms and even that severe cell that continues in northern Jefferson County this afternoon. All right, so let me take the lightning off of that. It's just got a real good look to it in terms of its overall storm structure. We'll go back to live radar as we continue to keep an eye on that storm. And there's another storm to the north of it in southern Lone Oak County. That storm it looks like it's going to merge with this cell. The storm to the north doesn't have much to work with. The storm to the south has taken away all of its energy. All right. And it looks like they just put a warning out on that. Let me see if that did that. Severe thunderstorm cancels. Okay, severe thunderstorm warning for Pulaski's been canceled. That's where I'm seeing that. But we still have the severe thunderstorm warning for Lone Oak and Jefferson counties. We go back to the statewide viewpoint here. As that frontal boundary moves through, there are some more storms developing to our north. Right up against that boundary, the boundary's just west of Little Rock. Over, Perry County, Garland County, so the storms out ahead of that front shouldn't last long. And then eastern Arkansas will have to deal with the brunt of the severe weather in southeast Arkansas this afternoon. If you live in Lincoln County, Cleveland County, Drew County, Bradley County, you have a little ways to go. But for those of us in Pulaski and Lone Oak and White within the hour, the severe weather threat should begin to diminish once again. A tornado watch is in effect. This is why I'm on this afternoon. Joining you a little bit earlier, we were going to pop on here at 2:30, but a tornado watch has been issued, and that tornado watch is for the eastern half of the state. Batesville's in that watch, Searcy, Stuttgart, Pine Bluff, Camden, Monticello, all under that tornado watch until 8. But again, that front moves into central Arkansas here soon, and we'll begin to see counties in central Arkansas removed, and this becomes more of a focus for the eastern part of the state. Once again, there's our live radar. Let me take you on a little trip and show you why we've got what we have happening this afternoon. Enhanced risk of severe weather located in eastern Arkansas. Now, yesterday, that area was across the river here, Mississippi and Tennessee. They backed it up over eastern zones, a slight risk of severe weather, and with that severe thunderstorm warning in Jefferson County, that pretty much verifies that slight risk, and it's a marginal to the west of us. I would say that front is located from Texarkana to Mountain Home. Texarkana is 90 right now, and on the other side of that front, temperatures may drop off a few degrees this afternoon. Dew points are also expected to come down. So here are the hazards for the day today. This is the concern. This system is going to swing out of the way. We'll get some drier and cooler air, but we still have the risk of a strong tornado in northeast Arkansas. A strong tornado is defined as an EF2 tornado or stronger. We could see golf ball, maybe even up to tennis ball sized hail in this area in eastern Arkansas, the hatched area, and winds of 60 miles per hour or greater. Right now, I think the big threat or the main threat is going to be in the form of some golf ball or larger sized hail, 1-inch hail happening up in Jefferson County. And if we go back over to Storm Track 11, Mike, I'll show you that the storms that are beginning to really come together here, you see the little blue dots, and that indicates that storms are strengthening, and there could be the possibility of some hail down around Dallas County, between Carthage and Sparkman, just to the west-southwest of Princeton, Arkansas, and that would be about a half-inch hail, or half-inch hail. More hail to the east of Sheridan, and the severe warned storm that could have 1-inch hail or larger that's moving through Tucker and Sherrill. Notice that the storm, at least from the standpoint of, I think it's reached its peak intensity. It'll die back a little bit, and then it may encounter more environment where it can strengthen. There's also a cell to the north of it that also may be trying to take away some of its mojo. And that would be great if we could see these storms not develop like they could this afternoon. There's a better viewpoint of it. Again, frontal boundary is pushing up against those storms in eastern Arkansas, and they do have the potential of providing us with some large hail this afternoon. Nothing to really freak out over. It's just part of the game, folks. Severe weather season in Arkansas, and this is the frontal boundary that's inspiring storms this afternoon. Now, there's one cell up over to the west of Searcy, and there's a little boundary, a little outflow boundary here that has been produced, and you know, that might even be the front. I don't see another outflow, but that could be either outflow or that frontal boundary that's moving into northwestern Pulaski County. I would imagine the boundary is through Hot Springs, Saline, maybe western Pulaski at this time. Joining us this afternoon, thank you for joining us at THV 11 Plus. It's 1:48. I'm Tom Brannon. We're going to hang with you for a little while and kind of stream here and give everyone an idea of what the weather around them looks like. Western Arkansas, west central Arkansas, everything is good here in terms of severe weather. There's not much of a risk at all. In fact, the risk of severe weather behind the frontal boundary has come to an end, and I'm going to show you where the front is located. Let me pull it up here. On my maps, there we go. I'll pull it up. It'll take a second to bring it up, but while we have you this afternoon watching on THV 11 Plus, and I think we're also on other platforms. I think we're on YouTube today as well. Okay, there you go. There's your frontal boundary here. It may actually have a little bit more of a northern tilt to it. You can line it up from Texarkana up to near Mountain Home. Out ahead of it, this is your lifting mechanism, plowing into an unstable air mass, and the result is thunderstorms are developing. And we have one severe thunderstorm warning that looks like now it's going to be reaching out of northern Jefferson County, southern Lonoke County. So I would say that Arkansas County is next on the list with that. Storm Track 11 will show that this loop that we have, the storm is almost getting ready to reach out of Lonoke County into southern parts of Prairie and eastern Arkansas counties. I'm going to stop it here, and we'll get a little bit of a better idea of what it looks like. Here's base velocity, broad rotation where that one is or where that little triangle is. There's just enough rotation, broad rotation. It's not tightening up yet. Hail. Hail is looking a little more formidable now. 1-inch hail now east of Tucker to the northeast of Sherrill, Arkansas. And if it continues its current track, it is going to carry over into southern Lonoke County, northwestern parts of Arkansas County eventually. So just be aware that that's coming your way. It was expected today. I really thought it would happen a little later in the afternoon, but things are kind of going earlier, which means they may end earlier, which would be some good news for all of us in the weather world. All right, I'm going to go back and take a look at our visible satellite on Max 1 here in just a moment, Mike, and get a better idea of the air mass and how warm it is and how the skies are clearing out behind that front. Yeah, the front in western Arkansas, you can see the temperatures have cooled a little in the 70s. It's in the mid-70s, Mountain Home, still 90 in Texarkana. In Little Rock, it's 83. It's 86 Monticello. And East Arkansas has the right ingredients right now. The daytime heating is back into play. We still have some wind shear to work with and a frontal boundary, a pretty potent frontal boundary that's interacting with those ingredients, and that's giving us the chance of strong 2 severe thunderstorms this afternoon. 1 severe thunderstorm warning, and that is for Jefferson and Lonoke County right now until 2:15 this afternoon. And we'll see if they extend it, and they probably will. That's the strongest storm that we have on radar. There's the watches, tornado watch, and I would say here by 3 o'clock we'll see Sharp, Independence, Cleburne, Faulkner, Pulaski, maybe even Grant, Dallas, and Ouachita counties taken out because the threat of severe weather will be to the east. Everything's initiating here in eastern and central Arkansas. This is what is going to move into western Tennessee and northern Mississippi. So they have a little bit of a longer afternoon and evening ahead, our neighbors to the east. Everything started off in Oklahoma, moved into northwest Arkansas last night. Some very strong thunderstorms, tornadoes reported in northwest Arkansas, some damage up there. And we actually had some damage in Bismarck, Hot Spring County. The Weather Service doesn't have a crew out there today, but they are planning on taking a look at it tomorrow. It could have been a brief tornado around the Bismarck area in Hot Spring County from storms last night. It was a very long night. Storms moved across the state. It was very windy with the storms. We had a lot of heavy rain. Very proficient rain producers. We're talking several inches of rain over the western part of Arkansas. The tornado watch again till 8 o'clock. That's why we're streaming here this afternoon on THV 11 Plus. And live radar once again shows you that one lone severe thunderstorm, but more storms trying to come together on the southwest flank of that line, right here through Grant County, northern Dallas County. There's Fordyce, Jefferson County. Keeping an eye on those storms north of Pine Bluff right now. They're in check. The strongest storm certainly is the one in northern Jefferson County and southern Lonoke County. We've got a little cell trying to build back over into eastern Lonoke County, western Pulaski, north of Lonoke, riding along I-40. There's a thunderstorm coming together. Let me turn on the lightning. The strongest storm, again, is in southern Lonoke and northern Jefferson County. Those storms in Lonoke, or that shower in Lonoke, not quite a thunderstorm yet. Storms up west of Searcy, now moving over Searcy, 67, 167, or I-57, however you want to say it, along highways 13 and 16, 67. And there's another storm to the southwest there that we'll keep an eye on. Again, storms pretty much coming together and blowing up really quickly this afternoon in the daytime heating. And there's even more that's coming together in eastern Arkansas at this time, from near Augusta up to Tupelo and Harrisburg, Arkansas. Watching us on THV 11 Plus, thank you very much. I'm Tom Brannon. If you're not familiar with THV 11 Plus, just trying it out for the first time, thank you so much. You can download the app. It's free of charge on Samsung TV, something new for Samsung. Just go to their app selection and download it. It's free. Okay, now we have an extension of that severe thunderstorm warning until 2:45. Just looked up, and there it is. That does include northern Arkansas County. It includes Monroe, as well as Prairie County. And let me give you the specifics on this. Jefferson, Prairie, Arkansas, Monroe, and Lonoke County. Storm is moving to the east at 40. Possible 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, quarter-sized hail with this storm. Radar indicated, so the radar is reading that it could have hailstones an inch in diameter or more. Storm Track 11 will verify that as we have it in our hail mode here. And this is what we're picking up that's getting ready to cross out of Jefferson County over into Arkansas County, west of Humphrey, Arkansas. 1-inch hail is possible with this storm. It's been pulsing up and down. It's been increasing in intensity and dropping off. It is going to move over southern Lonoke and eventually into, give me just a minute, Lonoke, Monroe County, and Prairie County. Prairie County first, then Monroe County. But it could be a big hail producer. Not much rotation, low-level rotation, but we have it in the middle and upper levels, as well as a pretty good area of hail. This is what base reflectivity looks like, and you can see those storms really coming together there now in eastern Arkansas, lining up from close to Harrisburg through Woodruff County, Augusta, Searcy, Bald Knob, Des Arc, down to Stuttgart, Pine Bluff, and Magnolia. That's right ahead of the cold front that is going to bring some much drier air and calmer conditions as we head through the rest of your evening. Max 1, please. This is live radar look. I'm going to turn on our 1-hour radar just to show you how these storms kind of evolved. Let me do this. I'm going to put this on a pause. I saw them developing as I came into work today. This is around 1 o'clock. You could see that they were just little blips around 1 o'clock, and then they just really exploded over the last hour. Here it is, 1:56. So within an hour's time, this is how much these storms have grown here in the natural state in eastern Arkansas. Frontal boundary pushing along this area, and it's causing these storms to develop. Risk of severe weather this afternoon over eastern Arkansas. Hope that central Arkansas's risk diminishes in the next hour or so. Keeping an eye on this afternoon for you on THV 11 Plus. Thank you very much. The new severe thunderstorm warning is until 2:45. The first warning till 2:15. Northern Jefferson County, southern Lone Oak, 2:45. Includes more of Arkansas County and southern parts of Monroe and Prairie counties. Let's do the hail. Show you what the hail product looks like. There you go, west of Humphrey. And it looks like it's just a little over quarter-sized hail according to what radar is picking up. That's that orange dot there. Anywhere within that polygon Stuttgart, you're going to be impacted. Humphrey, Arkansas. Ullum, how do you like that? Ullum, you're in the path of this. Southern Prairie County, over into Monroe County. Clarendon is also within this polygon. All right, turn the radar back on here. Lots of lightning. The lightning's been increasing in these storms this afternoon, an indication that with more lightning, you know the storms are stronger in terms of storm tops. I'm going to take a look at our echo tops real quick. And yeah, the one that's in northern Jefferson County is about 43,000 feet up. The one to the north of it's 44,000. So the one to the north of it continues to increase in strength. And there's another cell there over Pine Bluff. Storm tops on that are 42,000 feet, continues to rise. So some big storms. Big tops on these storms this afternoon. All right, line of storms continues. We don't have a tornado warning, but it gives us an opportunity to, jump on here and we can talk about what's going to be happening for the rest of the day. That's what I like about THV 11 plus a little more casual. Again, not trying to alarm anybody, just trying to let you know, hey, this is what's coming at you here later today into the afternoon and evening hours. And once we get this round out of the way, we'll have a calmer Wednesday, but Wednesday afternoon, the northwest flow gets active, and the northwest flow typically brings disturbances our way. So another chance of seeing some rain and possibly some hail. This is a little different. This is the upper level trough swinging through with a cold front, and there's a little bit more of a significant risk of severe weather with it, enhanced risk, especially in eastern Arkansas. A new warning has been posted that cell to the north, and that includes eastern Lone Oak County, western parts of Prairie County and Monroe County. Let me get out of here, get out of this, and I'll give you the particulars on that. New severe thunderstorm warning for Prairie, Monroe, and Lone Oak counties. This storm is moving northeast at 40 miles per hour, splitting apart from that cell to the south of it. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-sized hail are possible with this cell. So now we have 3 severe thunderstorm warnings. And, I wouldn't be surprised. The cells located to the north around White County continue to show some signs of increasing intensity. North of McCrory and Woodruff County, and all these areas are under that tornado watch this afternoon. And the frontal boundary looks like it's right through western Pulaski County. So these storms are right up against that front. So once the front in these storms moves through your area, everything comes to an end. In fact, if we want to take our camera shot, Mike, looking to the west, skies have cleared out a little bit, and looks like that boundary, and we can't see it really from the standpoint of looking for the blue line, but I can kind of tell that boundary is getting closer. If that is not associated with the front, then maybe the front is right over the top of us, and those are just a few clouds building behind the front. We'll see. Back to Max 1. And yeah, the tail end of this, I really do believe that is the front that is moving through western and northern parts of Pulaski County up against those storms. If not, then it's a nice outflow boundary, but I think it is the boundary, the frontal boundary itself. All right, let's go back to who's being impacted this afternoon with these severe thunderstorms and severe thunderstorm warnings. Eastern Arkansas, northeast Arkansas, it just seems this spring, you folks have been picked on more than anyone else. And now we've got more this afternoon, but hopefully it'll stay below the severity level where we see tornadoes. Hail, certainly, some damaging wind gusts of about 60 miles per hour. And I'll walk you through once again the severe thunderstorm warnings that we have I'm going to put it on live radar just so that it'll stop moving for just a moment. You've got 3 here, the first warning until 2:15, so we have 14 minutes on that one. But another strong storm is getting ready to move into that same box, so the Weather Service may keep that around. The new warning at 2:45, Stuttgart, you're in the path of this storm. Notice that it does look like it's moving into the Stuttgart area. You can expect to see some large hail with this storm. In fact, let me turn on the hail product. Getting some hail out toward Humphrey, and another area of some large hail that is south of Lone Oak near Pettis, Arkansas. And you can see all those highways, a lot of farmland out of this area. Highway 232 and 381, Highway 31. You're probably getting some hail out of it. Ping pong ball being registered in the cloud, but it may come down as 1 inch. It may have a little chance to melt a little. You can see all the communities that are in that polygon. There's Stuttgart. Stuttgart's going to be impacted by that storm coming up here shortly. Those severe thunderstorm warnings continue this afternoon for more hail than anything else, but there is a tornado threat with that tornado watch. Now, that storm that's over Whitehall, if you're joining us from Whitehall in northern Jefferson County, it's not severe warned yet, but it's looking pretty good. I mean, it's looking fairly strong. Let me turn on the hail product here on this and see if there's any hail with it. Could be some strong straight line wind gusts. Yeah, we're getting a little hail. Winds 40 to 50 plus miles per hour. Let me turn on the live wind mode here. And yeah, some strong wind gusts right there over Whitehall. Could be in the neighborhood of 40 to 50 miles per hour. Let's see. I guess that's not going to work for me. Okay, no problem there. But no rotation. No, if there's any, it's broad rotation, but it just looks like it's more along the lines of just some straight line winds and some hail. So that's what's happening near you, Whitehall. That line extends back to Grapevine. In Grapevine, you got a little notch there that would indicate maybe a little rotation there. And from there, we go southwest near Bunn, Arkansas. There's Princeton, Arkansas, Dallas County. Yeah, okay. Not warned yet, but could be upstream here in the next few minutes or so. And a few more storms over Ouachita and Calhoun counties. But the action that we have that's prompted severe thunderstorm warnings right now over northwestern Jefferson, western parts and northern parts of Arkansas County near Stuttgart, southern Monroe, and Lone Oak counties. Those 2 storms are the strongest 2 that we have right now. And we're kind of riding along with one another. Movement is to the northeast at 40 miles per hour. Yeah, more storms to the north this afternoon. Tornado watch is in effect. Let me go back to that graphic just for a moment. This is what prompted me to jump on today because these cells were developing pretty quickly. Knew that we would have an opportunity for a few strong to severe thunderstorms this afternoon. And that's what we're seeing now in eastern Arkansas, the eastern half of the state. And I don't think it'll be long before we begin to see the western fringe counties here get dropped from the tornado watch. Not long, maybe within the next hour or so. Because once the front moves through, the severe weather threat comes to an end. Some drier conditions, drier air moving in. Temperature still may warm up today. It's out ahead of that front that we're concerned about, the threat of some severe weather. All right, let's take a trip back over to Storm Track 11. I've got these echo tops, the tops of these storms, and the one that's on top of Pine Bluff right now on Storm Track 11 has the tallest storm signature with it. These storms have been growing, and the top of that one, that storm top, is at 50,000 feet. Watch the evolution here of these showers and storms coming together. There's that one that moved out of Grant County, the first severe thunderstorm warning for northern Jefferson County. See how the storms are progressing and getting stronger. Lots of lightning. The new severe thunderstorm warning that was posted for Lone Oak County into Prairie County. So we have a lot of strong storms. Now, just east of Little Rock, I think our severe weather threat is coming to an end. Little Rock, Benton, Malvern, Hot Spring County, Clark County, there's not a threat for you folks this afternoon. Everything is going to be in eastern Arkansas and over into western Mississippi and western Tennessee. That's one of the products we have. This is our base reflectivity. This is showing you the heavy amounts of rain, and if you look closely, you can see some of the colors in the purples, which would mean some extremely heavy rainfall or even some hail. And these storms do have hail. Now, whether or not they're reaching the ground at 1 inch in diameter remains to be seen. And I would like to invite you folks out there, if you are watching us this afternoon, and you can do so once the storms pass. Let's say you've got some hail on the ground. You'd like to share your pictures with us. I'm going to tell you how here in just a moment. You can, well, that's not it. Hold on. I've got the wrong, here it is. How you can share pictures with us. I'll pull it up on Max 1. Give me a second there, Michael. That's Weather Call. That's also a very valuable tool for those of you that need something to wake you up at night. I got awakened again this morning with severe weather. You can send your photos to us. Just text them along to 501-376-1111, or you can send them to our THV11 Weather Reporters page. Your pictures, it might be easier to put video on the Weather Reporters page on Facebook. When you text video over to that number, 501-376-1111, it doesn't work out as well as it should. So that's how you can share your severe weather photos, or any photos of nice spring scenes as well. We'd like to have that. Text them on over to us. And when you do send photos of hail, what we'd like to ask you to do is pull a quarter out of your pocket, or a dime or a penny, a nickel, and compare the hail size. Take a picture of it and send it along. If it's bigger than that, maybe grab a golf ball or a tennis ball or a baseball, something that gives a little bit of a depth to it that can show us just how big the hailstone is. All right. We're tracking some severe thunderstorms this afternoon. That's why I'm joining you here on THV 11 Plus. Kind of had planned to do that anyway, but the storms kind of beat me to it. That's why I jumped on here at 1:30, and we're going to follow them on through until they get out of our viewing area and move over across the river, or at least over into eastern Arkansas. Severe thunderstorm warnings remain in effect for northern parts of Jefferson County, Arkansas County, Monroe, and Prairie counties. And again, that frontal boundary is not far. It's going to be pushing through. The wind's going to turn directions out of the west-northwest. This is what, notice how we're quickly clearing out. So that front is just west of Jonesboro, moving through Batesville, and it's moving through pretty quickly. This is what's allowing those storms to pop up. It's still 90 though down in Texarkana, but it's dropped off to 73 in Fayetteville. Another good way of telling exactly where that front is located is looking at the dew point number. And if you give me a moment, I'll pull that up, and we can get a better Arkansas dew point. Let's see. Okay. But to pull it over, this really helps to identify better where that frontal boundary, the leading edge of the drier, more stable air is located. Air mass is very unstable in eastern Arkansas at this time. Here we go. So let's see. Yeah, right now, that kind of lines up with where the boundary is. Dew point is dropped off to 58 in Fayetteville, but look at the very juicy air mass in Pine Bluff. The dew point is 74. Dew point is 70 here in Little Rock. Drier air in Hot Springs over in Mena. Clinton, the dew point 66. So this is lining up with the front. The front is out ahead of it just a little, like I mentioned. And just to compare notes once again, there you are. The northwestern half of the state, severe weather risk has gone away. It's the eastern counties we're keeping an eye on this afternoon. More specifically, cells in east central Arkansas. We can go back to Storm Track 11, and I've got them up on Storm Track. Those two warnings. The first one is for Lone Oak and Prairie County. It looks like it's carved back from Lone Oak County. That's until 2:45. And the one to the south of it that is now getting close to Stuttgart with some very heavy rain and possibly some large hail. The hail core there near Humphrey, Arkansas, looks like it's upwards into the 2-inch category if in fact it is reaching the ground. 2.19, the estimated hail size, up several thousand feet in that cloud if it's actually reaching the ground. And to the north of us, let me pull this one back down, not necessarily as intense or as large hail, but haze it, you're getting some pretty good hail right now. Those warnings will continue this afternoon. We're under a tornado watch until 8 o'clock tonight for the eastern part of the state. But those are the two warnings we have for you right now. If we go back to Max 1 and live radar, storms lining up just ahead of that cold front. That cold front is positioned just to the west of Little Rock. It should be moving through here anytime. THV 11 Plus this afternoon, tracking some severe weather, just a couple of severe thunderstorms right now, but we're under a tornado watch. Didn't want to take any chances with it. With live radar, we're able to, kind of look into the storm and see where the hail and the wind is located. Looks like they just updated that warning We go back to the National Weather Service page. They also issue these what are called special weather statements for strong storms. Strong storms in Cleveland, Dallas, Grant, again in Jefferson County. The 2 severe thunderstorm warnings continue, but the one for Jefferson County has been canceled or been expired because the storm is now more in southern Lone Oak and Arkansas County. You can see that cell, northern Jefferson County. It's strong, not severe, but could contain some strong wind gusts, 30 to 40 plus miles per hour as those storms move through. And these storms extend down to northern Cleveland County and Dallas County, northern Calhoun County. Strongest activity, though, right here over Stuttgart this afternoon, with the storm capable of producing some 1-inch hail, and there's another part of that storm just to the north. All right, Stuttgart, you're getting hit pretty good right now with some heavy rain and some wind. And let's see if the hail core has moved over Stuttgart. I think it's a little bit delayed. That core is probably right over downtown Stuttgart right now. That warning is in effect until 2:45 this afternoon. And the warning to the north of it. Hey, Duval's Bluff, if you're watching us over in Prairie County, Duval's Bluff, you've got an intense storm, a severe storm near you, right over the top of you there. Let's check the hail core on it and see if the hail is there. Yeah, it's not far. Again, I think this is a little delayed. It's not up with where the main storm is located, so no problem there. Well, happy Tuesday. It feels like a Thursday or Friday. These severe weather events that happen early in the week, they just prolong the week, especially when when all the weather folks are up all night tracking this stuff for you to make sure that you're safe. You can see there's a statewide vantage point once again where these storms are located. I took the counties off real quick, and if you were to draw a line from near Jonesboro down to Little Rock and Texarkana, that's where you'll find the front. The front's going to keep going to the east, and more storms will develop out ahead of the front. Now, the cells that are currently in Arkansas County, Monroe, and Prairie counties, those are going to shift over to the Memphis viewing area. We'll keep an eye on those cells in southeast Arkansas, Drew County, Bradley, Calhoun. Those are still within the THV 11 viewing area. And you can see the cells popping off there in northern Mississippi, western Tennessee this afternoon, riding along I-40. So far, knock on wood, they haven't taken that next step, have not seen a whole lot of rotation with these storms, which is certainly some good news. They could just be hail producers this afternoon. But in terms of those tight couplets that we look for, I'm not seeing that yet, but we still have a couple of 3 hours this afternoon for that to change. There might be some rotation, but expect more along the lines of some straight line winds with these severe thunderstorms as they move to the east. All right. Pull this up. All right. I don't think we're on Facebook, are we, Mike? We're not on Facebook Live, are we? I don't think we are. Only for tornado warnings. But I believe we're on YouTube this afternoon, as well as THV 11 Plus. THV 11 Plus, tracking strong to severe thunderstorms in Arkansas for you. So it's kind of like having an alternate channel just for weather. It seems like we do a lot of weather here on THV 11 Plus. All right, go back to the National Weather Service and see what's going to. Okay. Hey, if you guys would do me a favor, Hazen iDrive cameras. Pull up iDrive, take a look at some camera shots showing some strong wind gusts near Hazen on I-40. Mike, you've got a Perry or a Roger up there. Roger's got it up there. Roger Gray stayed late last night. Perry, were you here last night? You were here last night pretty late, weren't you? Oh, okay. Nathan said I'm on Facebook Live and YouTube. Thank you, Nathan. I couldn't find us on Facebook. Nathan Scott is doing a little forecasting for us this afternoon. He's going to be working the morning show tomorrow morning. So we're going to try to get through this with as little harm as possible. A new severe thunderstorm warning coming for the Pine Bluff area. Not surprised. Let's take a look at Hazen's iDrive camera. take it full. Yeah, there are the storms. Severe thunderstorm warning moving through, or the severe storm moving through the Hazen area on the iDrive cam there. A little box up on the right-hand part of the screen. What is that? I guess it doesn't matter. I don't know what it is. But folks are getting caught in a pretty good rainstorm on I-40 near the Hazen area. Waiting for that new warning. Quite a bit of reflectivity aloft, which would indicate they're probably seeing some hail cores with it. New warning coming in for the Jefferson County area very shortly. That is the RDOT cam along I-40 eastbound, looking eastbound, Hazen. Thank you guys for pulling that up. And there's that new warning. We can go back to Max 1, and we're on Max 1. Let me just share with you this new warning that is coming down for Jefferson County until 3 o'clock this afternoon. I'll give you the particulars here. Severe thunderstorm warning. Severe thunderstorm located over Altimer. Hazard 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, quarter-sized hail. The storm is moving to the east at 35. Some of the storms are moving to the east at 40. Some are moving to the east at 35. This one is certainly moving to the east at 35 miles per hour. Here are some of the communities along Highway 79 and 15. There's Wabaseka, Altimer. They mentioned that was the area that severe thunderstorm was near Altimer, or northeast of Pine Bluff. Just to the north of here's Pine Bluff. If you happen to live in this area, you're going to experience some strong wind gusts, possibly some hail. Let me turn on our hail product, see if we can find some hail within this new severe thunderstorm. And there it is. And if we do have it, it would be quarter-sized hail. That's what prompts a severe thunderstorm warning. That are winds of 58+ miles per hour, rounded up to 60. That hail core is going to move over highways 31 and 15, also Highway 79. And there's the box, there's the polygon. Just to the northeast, we'll take you on a little tour here. That one, moving on between Humphrey and Stuttgart, has hail that could be a little bit larger in size. That warning is in effect until 2:45. And the warning to the north of that, we're losing the hail core on it. It too is in effect till 2:45, but it looks like a new area is developing just to the south of Desark on Highway 323 and Highway 33. That may be a cell that is getting a little bit stronger. There you go. Yeah, there's our live radar pic. The storms are getting a little stronger and a little more intense. You look back to the west, there's a thin line, a thin band here along 67 and 167. Folks, I believe that is our cool front that's pushing up against those storms this afternoon. Augusta, Bald Knob, up to Fisher, Wynn, Georgetown, Cotton Plant, strong storms there. Let me broaden it out just a bit. So the storms on the northern end of the line are severe, or they meet the severe criteria. The storms that are on the southern flank over Cleveland County, Dallas, Ouachita, extending down to Columbia County, not quite there yet, but they could come together with or encounter the more buoyant air mass, that unstable air mass. But there are the storms we're keeping an eye on for you this afternoon. Here it is, 2:19. Severe thunderstorm warnings remain in effect. And one thing too, when these storms cross over into these counties, we're talking about Craighead County, Cross County, even Phillips County. I have to pull out my little map here. Lee County, St. Francis. Once these storms pull in over here, the National Weather Service in Memphis will issue the warnings for those folks. And we'll shift our focus over southeast Arkansas for more warnings if they become necessary. As it is currently, Jefferson County, another severe thunderstorm warning for you. The severe thunderstorm warning's in effect for northern Arkansas County. Right now, Stuttgart's getting hit pretty good with a severe thunderstorm that could be producing some large hail. Just to the west-southwest of Stuttgart right now. Whoops. All right. There we are. I found us on Facebook Live, so I can interact with folks if we have some folks watching this afternoon. Okay. Yes, Christopher, thank you. Mr. Scott, Nathan Scott told me I made it to Facebook. Thank you very much, Christopher. All right. Looks like we have 2 polygons now, 2 severe polygons. One has gone away or has been allowed to expire. Let me go back to National Weather Service, see what they're saying this afternoon. They canceled the severe thunderstorm warning for Prairie, Monroe, and Lonoke County. Okay, that's good news. There was one that was for Prairie, Monroe, and Lonoke, but there's still one for the southeastern tip of Lonoke, southern Prairie, and Monroe counties. What we're looking at is our hail product that shows the areas where thunderstorms could have some hail. So the little blue dots, larger hail here near Stuttgart and Ullum, hail core north of Pine Bluff, and another one there that is in Cleveland County, northwestern Cleveland County. And when I put on the live radar up against it, this is what it looks like reflectivity-wise. Storms, formidable, lining up here in a line. They started over central Arkansas. They've made pretty good inroads here in the last hour and a half or so. And they seem to be getting a little bit larger. I think they're entering an environment over the eastern part of the state where we have this enhanced risk of severe weather, where there's a greater chance of rotation, larger hail, and some stronger wind gusts. But they look formidable. They have the little appendage, those hook appendages. They may not have strong winds now with them, but they may be getting into an environment with some stronger winds aloft. And then certainly as they move over into Tennessee and Mississippi, those winds are going to pick up a bit at all levels. So wind shear is certainly possible, at least more of it over there. Okay. Looking at what the Weather Service is saying about these storms. Okay. Yeah, the Carlisle storm, the one in Hazen, dumped its hail core and weakened, so they canceled that warning there. Severe thunderstorm warnings remain in effect. Joining you this afternoon, Facebook Live, as well as THV 11 Plus for the possibility of a couple of tornadoes that may develop. So far, no tornado warnings, but we do have severe thunderstorm warnings. Thank you for joining us. Just going to keep you up to date on what's happening here. I think the next hour or so, by 3 o'clock, most of central Arkansas is going to be out of the threat of severe weather, and it becomes more of an eastern Arkansas threat, and even our counties in southeast Arkansas. But the strongest cells right now ahead of a cold front are located in central or east central Arkansas. And that's Prairie County, that's Monroe, southern Jackson, Arkansas County, Jefferson County. A couple of more cells trying to develop down around Cleveland County. North of Rison, there's a little bit of an appendage there to the northwest of Rison. Not much going on with it. Not picking up any hail just yet. Maybe just a little. There you go. It's starting to come back together. And the winds, let's see if we have any rotation with it. If we do, it's pretty broad. Yeah, there's a little updraft there. We're getting to see a little bit more wind action. There's that storm. That may have some pretty strong wind gusts with it. 40 to 50, possibly 60 mile per hour winds there along Highway 79 and 88 right over Altimer this afternoon. This is our live winds or velocity mode. It shows wind velocities here. Here's talking about winds blowing toward radar and winds blowing away. This helps us identify couplets that could potentially produce tornadoes. So Altimer's got some strong winds over the top of them right now. And within that other severe thunderstorm warning, just to the north of it, northeast of it, some strong winds moving through the Stuttgart area and possibly some hail with that. And I'm looking at a picture of some hail from the National Weather Service that I think was over the Hazen area. Make sure that if you send us pictures that you put a quarter or something to compare the hail size with. But there's that hail core right now over Stuttgart. Probably seeing quarter-sized hail or larger there. That warning is until 3 o'clock this afternoon. Severe thunderstorm warning until 2:45 this afternoon, just to the east. So this is the newest warning. This is the older warning. We still have 20 minutes or so to go on that one. Look at skies clearing out. Some drier air is working into Little Rock. I'm going to poke my head out the door. I'll be right back. Thank you for pulling that up, Mike. I just want to take a look outside real quick. Yeah, be able to tell if the wind has shifted a little. Still warm. Yeah, it's drying out a little bit. It's kind of hot and dry in the garden. And the wind has shifted. So boundary may be through. I'm looking, oh wow. I'm going to have to turn our camera around and look at the towers that are firing up east of us. So give me just a moment. I'm going to turn the camera around, guys. And we'll get a nice panoramic shot of what's to our east. There you go. Arkansas River looks muddy, doesn't it? Here's the Simmons Bank building. On top of the bank building, I'm trying to get to the other side here, and we'll be able to see those big towers growing here momentarily. There you go. There are those storms in east central Arkansas. Pretty impressive stuff there. There you go. So that's east of us. The severe weather threat has come to an end in the Little Rock, Pulaski County area. The boundaries pushing along those storms east of us. And I'm looking a little bit more to the southeast. Excuse me, I'm getting ready to sneeze. Pardon me. That's what happens when I step outside in dust. Oh boy. But there's the line of storms. That's east of Little Rock now. I think that's about as far as I can turn the camera. Yeah. There you go. You can see the tops of those thunderstorms in eastern Arkansas. Pretty cool sight there. You're looking at the back end of some of those severe cells as they move through Jefferson County, Monroe County, and continue to grow. Impressive storms. All right, go back over here. Let me review the warnings. You can keep that up for a second. There we go. Severe thunderstorm warnings. They got some dime-sized hail in Stuttgart, quarter-sized hail north of Stuttgart. Yeah, quarter and dime-sized hail both locations. Okay, let's go back to Max 1 and the 3 cells that I have lined up here. You're looking at 2 severe warned storms in Jefferson and Arkansas County, as well as Arkansas, Prairie, and Monroe counties. And down over northern Cleveland County, some hail now beginning to show up there. So that could be a growing situation. Also a little bit more there that is under the highways there near Fordyce. Let me go back to reflectivity. Yeah, storms developing. They're trying to develop there, but they're stronger well to the north. Again, pushing along, a cold front's pushing them along to the east. And I really do believe that Faulkner County, Pulaski, Saline, Grant County, our severe weather threat is beginning to come to an end. And it's only a matter of time before the Weather Service starts pulling away some counties. That tornado watch remains in effect until 8 o'clock tonight. But if you live in central Arkansas, the tornado watch was really for the very beginning stages of this. In eastern Arkansas, we'll see if how long they keep that watch. Yeah, Cleburne County, Faulkner County, Pulaski County, even up to Sharp County. I would be surprised if these counties are lifted not long from now. And then the focus will shift over into those East Arkansas counties in the Memphis and Jonesboro viewing area. Tracking severe weather this afternoon, or the potential therefore or thereof some severe weather. 2 warnings are in effect, and they contain some hail. All right, there we are. That's what it looks like. Statewide radar. From near the Jonesboro area, you see a new warning just popped up there from Mississippi County, but the 2 warnings we have in east central Arkansas. These storms in southeast Arkansas, they're trying, but I think the greatest wind field is right there in that zone from east central Arkansas into northeast Arkansas. But over in Mississippi and Tennessee, those storms are really taking off this afternoon. Wouldn't be surprised here if that warning that's in Monroe County, that is going to be issued for Monroe and then over into Phillips County and Lee County, Phillips and Lee counties in southeast Arkansas. Joining us here at 2:30 this afternoon, was going to be streaming at this time today, but we decided to go a little bit earlier. At least I did, because the storm started to fire up and we had a tornado watch that was issued about 1:15 this afternoon. And so with that and storms developing, decided to jump on. This is what we get to use, THV 11 plus 4, whenever we have storms like this. If I do get a tornado warning, then we'll stop for a moment. We'll break into local programming on THV 11 and we'll track that warning until it expires. But right now, thankfully things have been below that limit. But again, I'm not going to be surprised either way if we get at least one tornado warning out of this afternoon. Severe thunderstorm warnings remain in effect for Jefferson County, for Arkansas County, for Monroe, and part of Prairie County. In terms of velocity, some pretty strong wind gusts. Let's go back over to Storm Track 11. Some good wind velocities here that are near the Altimer, Wabaseka area. You see where the brighter area there, there's a good gust of wind here. And then again, back up to the north, east of Stuttgart, now near Elmira. That's showing some pretty strong winds, around 50 mile per hour winds off the ground, a few thousand feet, and over towards Stuttgart, 30 to 40 mile per hour wind gusts there. Is it reaching the ground? Yeah, possibly. And then there you go. In terms of hail, now the storm in northern Cleveland County that's north of Risen. I can zoom in a little bit more there. Kingsland, that storm's upticking a bit. The one north of Risen, Cleveland County, is also upticking a bit. The severe thunderstorm warning for Jefferson and Arkansas County continues, remains in effect until 3 o'clock. It's 2:32 right now. Storms are moving quickly to the east between 35 and 40 miles per hour. In those two cells that you're looking at the hail core within those storms, this is what reflectivity looks like. There's Kedron, Arkansas, and south of Risen, there's another strong storm coming together. I think it's just a matter of time before we begin to see our southeast Arkansas neighbors, those storms in southeast Arkansas, get a little bit stronger. But most of the action has been over east central and central Arkansas with two warnings that are in effect. And there's a new one that just came out in the National Weather Service in Memphis. Put this one out for the Wynn area, and it's more than likely for hail. Let me take a look at the hail. Yeah, 1 inch hail or larger, quarter-sized hail. So that meets the severe criteria. And I would imagine the hail cores in central Arkansas dropping off. The one in Cleveland County, I wouldn't be surprised if that one gets warned here very shortly. It's 1 inch hail in Cleveland County. So we could have potentially a third warning box in southeast Arkansas this afternoon. Okay. Yep, there it is. It just came down. Let's go back to Max 1. Watching us in Jefferson County, once again, another severe thunderstorm warning, this one for Cleveland County. Again, I mentioned that once you get hail that's seen by radar, registered by radar of 1 inch in diameter. So here are the particulars on that. It is for 1 inch hail. This cell is moving east at 45. It's for Cleveland, Jefferson, and Lincoln counties in southeast Arkansas. These counties right here. Let me lift it up a little bit so it's easier to see, and I'll zoom in a little bit closer. We'll spend a little time with this for our southeast Arkansas neighbors. There we go. Northern Cleveland County, just north and out of the Risen area. This is going to track to the east. Star City's on the bottom end of that polygon. You've got Grady, Arkansas along Highway 65, south of Pine Bluff. So between Risen, Star City, and Pine Bluff, and there's the cell. It does have some big hail with it. 1 inch hail is the hazard within this storm. This is what it looks like just on the western flank of that polygon box. In terms of winds, not really anything rotating just yet. There's some broad rotation there where this couplet is. There could be some, it could be a lowering, maybe keeping an eye on it, I'm sure. These storms do have the potential, since we're in a tornado watch, the ingredients are there for a few tornadoes this afternoon. So there you go. That's a severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect for northern Cleveland, southern Jefferson, and Lincoln County. So another warning for Jefferson County this afternoon. So far, they're leading the way with all of the warnings that we have. More storms to the south over central Cleveland County. Let me check out the hail core there. There's a little bit of hail there. That may develop into something here shortly. I'll go back out to a statewide viewpoint just to show you what's going on. If you're just joining us this afternoon, tracking some severe thunderstorms in eastern and southeastern Arkansas on THV 11 Plus ahead of a cold front. I think earlier today I heard Simone Thomas talk about how we still have this risk of severe weather this afternoon, and in fact we do, and this is what's panning out. Frontal boundary moving into central and eastern Arkansas. is interacting with an unstable air mass. We've got a lot of moisture, a lot of heat building up in the atmosphere. This is what you get. You get some strong to severe thunderstorms that develop. Severe thunderstorm warnings have been ongoing. So far, it's been mainly for hail and straight line wind gusts, but we do have a risk of severe weather. I want to walk you through the risk this afternoon. There's statewide viewpoint. Once again, these storms are now pretty much in eastern and southeastern Arkansas. They're moving quickly east at about 35 to 40. There is an enhanced risk of severe weather for that orange area. We had a good part of Arkansas that was enhanced yesterday, and even a part of northwest Arkansas that was moderate, that verified with those tornadoes in the northwestern part of the state. But it's in this zone that has the greatest tornado potential. We're still kind of in this 2 out of 5 where thunderstorms could be producing some large hail. Once we get closer to the Tennessee and Mississippi area, we've got a few more parameters for some rotation. Stronger winds of loft in this area. So you got the front that's pushing into this. It's our lifting mechanism. It's forcing, or the forcing mechanism. It's forcing these thunderstorms to develop. And we can see the backside of these storms from our camera shot on top of the Simmons Bank building looking to the east-southeast. And they are big storms, 40 to 50,000 foot tops on these storms. Lots of lightning now with them, hail cores. And we're going to keep an eye over the next couple of hours for anything that may begin to spin. In fact, I'm going to take a quick look at a cell here. If anything, we got some very strong wind gusts over to the east-southeast of Umphrey and Wabaseka. Jefferson County, Arkansas County, that's an area that we'll have to keep an eye on. It's now truly in Arkansas County. In Elmira, some strong wind gusts too. So the tornado threat is there. Moving into an environment more conducive. Arkansas County, Monroe County, a part of Woodruff County. Woodruff, Monroe, Arkansas, Cleveland, Lincoln, Drew, and Deshay are our responsibility. Phillips County northward, this is the responsibility of the National Weather Service over in Memphis. So they'll issue warnings once this line gets over into that area. Talking about the storm hazards today, this is the reason we're jumping on here. You've got the potential for a brief tornado, and it could be a strong tornado in this zone in eastern Arkansas. A strong tornado is defined as a tornado with an EF2 or stronger winds. Okay? Hail, quarter-sized or larger, maybe even up to golf or tennis ball sized. So far, we've seen some dime and quarter-sized hail coming out of the storms in Jefferson County and Arkansas County. Winds 60+ miles per hour. These are all hazards. So when we say all modes are possible, this is what we're talking about. All modes of severe weather, and if you were to add a fourth box, some very heavy rainfall like we had last night. So we wrap this up. We take a look at tomorrow. Front moves through the state tonight. We get the drier and cooler air, but the upper levels change a little bit, and we go into what's called a northwest flow aloft. That's where the upper level prevailing flows from northwest to southeast. Notice that there is an area highlighted in north central Arkansas that could have a threat of some severe weather. It's a low wind threat, and the main concern would be hail because of a cold pool of air aloft. The tornado threat is non-existent with that, but you know, weird things have happened before, and the wind threat is also very, very low. That's your Wednesday forecast. Satellite radar composite. The frontal boundary. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to redraw this front to give you an idea of where it is. And I think what I have done here, okay. Our scene camera, lost my regional viewpoint. Give me just a moment. Do it live on TV here. How about that? There we go. Put that back there. Now, the front, cool front, looks about something like that. You've got the winds behind the front out of the west-northwest and ahead of the boundary, of which you'll see here in just a moment, out of the southwest. So there we go. The winds, this is what we call wind particles, but it's wind. You can see the wind pushing along the front northwest, coming in from the northwest, pushing that way. You can go back to max 1. It's okay. They have their little TV changer up in the booth. They change too like that. So here, there's your frontal boundary. I'll get out of that, knucklehead. Just pinpointing where the front's located this afternoon. The drier, cooler air is lagging behind the front, but once the front moves through your area, the severe weather threat goes away. There we go. And you can see this forcing mechanism is causing these storms to develop way out ahead of that front. Winds are out of the west here, out of the southwest out in front of the front. So general storm mode and motion is going to be from southwest to northeast. Okay, so the front is through the Little Rock area, through Batesville, Searcy, Arkadelphia. So any kind of threat of severe weather diminishes for those folks. But we're going to hold on to it for a little while longer in eastern Arkansas. I'm at the mercy of the speed of the computers this afternoon. Looks like another severe thunderstorm warning has been issued. Severe thunderstorm warning for Arkansas and Monroe County just came down a few minutes ago. Looks like it's going to be, again, quarter-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. Let's do this. Let me go back to max 1 here, and we will. Okay, there's your dew point temperature. The watches. Give me just a second. This is quicker. All right, yeah, severe thunderstorm warnings now lining up along that line. Tornado warnings in Tennessee. I'm blocking that, by the way. There you go. Tornado warnings over in Tennessee. Severe thunderstorm warnings here. And the new warning that just came down. I have our lightning turned off for right now, just so I can see the storms. But watch what happens when I kick on the lightning. We've got an uptick in lightning, meaning the storms are getting stronger. Severe thunderstorm warnings for Cleveland, for Lincoln County, Jefferson County, from Jefferson into Arkansas, from Arkansas into Monroe and Prairie counties. And this is the newest one that's bumping up against Phillips and Lee County, where Marietta and Helena, West Helena. So this is the last warning right here that the National Weather Service in Little Rock is going to issue on this storm until Memphis takes over and reissues the warning for Lee and Phillips counties. Still have a ways to go for Arkansas County, and that storm's going to follow a very similar path. It'll move over into central and eventually eastern Arkansas County before going into Phillips County. And these storms in Cleveland and Lincoln counties that are causing some concern. Let's take a look at the hail and see what's going on. This one here that's straddling Cleveland and Jefferson County, there's still some hail there. Could be some strong wind gusts. Those are the boxes. Let me show you the warnings. Now, all of the warnings that we have. Oh, this one is a tornado possible tag. Okay, so we do have something a little bit different. All of our severe thunderstorm warnings, there's a legend here at the top. And each one of them, your run-of-the-mill likely severe thunderstorm warnings are for winds of 58 miles per hour and or large hail. That's most of these, but this tornado possible tag means this one bears watching for the possibility of some rotation or some stronger rotation. And that is certainly being picked up there, north of DeWitt in Arkansas County. So Michael, Perry, Roger, y'all, we're going to keep an eye on that cell for the potential for a tornado warning here shortly. If it continues to go the way it's going, then we'll have to jump on THV11. I'll let you know. We'll take a little bit of a break here. Okay, the severe thunderstorm warning has been lifted, but we still have, it's the area that is southwest and south of Casco. It's beginning to wrap up. This is going to move over into Monroe County. I'm going to prepare this real quick just in case we have to jump on. It is beginning to show some signs of rotation. Okay, thank you, Mike. Michael Bennett, who worked the morning show this morning, it is time for him to go home. But joining us in the booth, our directors, Perry Black and Roger Gray, who have probably seen more severe weather episodes than any directors in this market, over the years. If you are watching us this afternoon on THV 11 Plus, severe weather is why we're streaming. Keeping a close eye on a cell that is getting a little bit, okay, tornado possible tag is due to the storm interactions. A weak rotation has developed on the storm headed between Elmira and Costco. There's Casco, did I say Costco? I'm so sorry, Casco. Okay, yeah, thanks, Mike. I did say it. Okay. I need a cup of coffee. Hey, before you leave, why don't you get me a cup of coffee? Make yourself useful, right, Mike? I shouldn't say that. Michael Bennett he's a great guy, and he dresses me well, and I do appreciate that. But Casco, Arkansas, that's what the Weather Service is keeping a close eye on for a little rotation there. And if that is the case, that is button up against Monroe County, northern Arkansas into Monroe County. So Monroe County would more than likely, I think that's Monroe County. Here's the thing, we get a little too close. Yeah, there's Arkansas, that's Monroe. So it's this area here. There's Ullum. Right now it's Highway 33 and 146. That's where the area of rotation, the area spin is located. So we might get our first tornado warning this afternoon from that cell. Right now it's a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag on it whenever they indicate some rotation. And I know it's just a bunch of colors, but where this orange and blue meet up, that's a couplet. It's broad right now. The blue is going toward radar. This area is blowing away. That's what gives us our rotation. That's what gives us the spin. And we've gone this far without having a tornado warning, but I'm sure they're keeping an eye on it, and we'll keep an eye on it as well. What I'm going to do is, let's go to Storm Track 11. And I've got that area between Elmira and Casco. And you see the colors, the blue and the green colors here from our NROT tool. They do indicate some rotation there, but the velocity tool that we have, there's something here, something trying to come together, something trying to develop there. Otherwise, it's a severe thunderstorm warning right now. Some weak rotation. Other areas that are under warnings this afternoon, we're going to keep it on Storm Track 11. Let me take a broader perspective here. Three severe warned areas. Northern Cleveland, Lincoln counties, severe thunderstorm warning. We've got a severe thunderstorm warning that continues for Jefferson County over into Arkansas County. Arkansas County, that is the region that we're keeping a close eye on that could get tornado warned here very shortly. Not yet, though. That's northern Arkansas County into Monroe County, and then this cell is going to pass over into the Memphis viewing area. Notice how things clear out behind. That's because the frontal boundary is clearing this area out. There's another little cell trying to pop up there south of Duval's Bluff, another one Desark, but the frontal boundaries move through Pulaski County in central Arkansas. Let me look at the camera shot real quick. You can see the back end of this line of storms from our camera on top of the Simmons Bank building. What you're looking at in the foreground there, you've got the airport, and in the distance, you've got the tops of those thunderstorms riding out ahead of that frontal boundary. So the front is in the area, moving through central Arkansas. Can't get out of here soon enough. 2:49 in the afternoon, streaming a little severe weather coverage with you on THV 11 Plus. We thank you for joining us on Facebook and YouTube. I feel like we have, there's a tornado warning up toward the Wynn area. So yeah, and that is that's National Weather Service Memphis that has issued that warning. A new severe thunderstorm warning just came down for Cleveland and Lincoln counties for this cell right here. Cleveland, Lincoln, Drew, and Deshay. Severe thunderstorm warning for 1-inch hail. So things are beginning to cook a little in southeast Arkansas this afternoon. And in eastern Arkansas, keeping a close eye on things over in Arkansas County. And the one that's now in central Arkansas County, let me go to the warnings. And two could be a tornado possible tag there. Not yet. Reflectivity. There's your line, and it's these individual cells, and a new warning was just issued in the area that I was looking at, so they're going to pop that up in just a moment. And that too has a tornado. Yep, I thought they might do that. Now beginning to pick up some rotation, which is concerning. Severe thunderstorm warning for Jefferson, Arkansas, Monroe counties once again. And those boxes, let's go back over to Max, please. The boxes that I'm about to show you are the ones with severe thunderstorm warnings, but tornado possible tag. Different from just a regular severe thunderstorm. And I'll tell you the reason why is we slide back over to Storm Track 11. Because there's just a little bit more rotation here with that one that we were talking about a moment ago. Okay, turn on the Enrod tool here. Right here. That is Jefferson, Arkansas, Monroe. So there's Jefferson, Arkansas, Monroe. So it's in this area near Cornerstone, Arkansas. Thunderstorm wind damage in Cleburne County. It's got to be from last night. So East Central and Eastern Arkansas now beginning to see an uptick in the overall strength of these storms. 2 severe thunderstorm warnings now with tornado possible tags. They're both in Arkansas and Monroe counties. Goodness, just can't win, can we, guys, down in Southeast Arkansas? Three more counties in Southeast Arkansas, severe thunderstorm warnings. Cleveland, Lincoln County, northern parts of Drew County also now included in the next severe thunderstorm warning. And it's because we're keeping an eye on what could be developing rotation. Here we go. This takes us a little closer to the action. Somewhere right here along Highway 130 and 33, there could be a little area there coupling. That's why they've got that. Okay. Watching THV 11 Plus. Also, Facebook and YouTube. I anticipate that at some point here in the next few minutes, that if these storms continue to go up in intensity, that we're going to see a couple of tornado warnings for our East Arkansas neighbors. Maybe not, but they're not trending the right direction. They're getting stronger instead of getting weaker. And it's just this complex here, this line in East Central Arkansas. We'll go back to Max 1. We'll keep it here for a few minutes. This is the thunderstorm in question. There could be some rotation here and then again up here. So you got 2 areas that we're keeping an eye on. This is going to be tracking into southern Monroe County, and the area that we're keeping an eye on west of DeWitt in Arkansas County. This warning is in effect for Jefferson, Arkansas, and eventually up the stream in Monroe counties. Yeah, Little Rock is out of it for those of you that want to know. Yeah, intense wind near BB this afternoon. Okay. Thank you all. Are we going to be okay in DeWitt? Jacob, I just talked about Jacob Williams, Arkansas County, DeWitt. You have a very intense cell to your west. Don't give up on it just yet. They may have to place a tornado warning on it. They meaning the National Weather Service. I don't put warnings out. They do. They expired a severe thunderstorm warning, at least one of them just now. We may see a box disappear here in a second. But we got them lined up. We do have them lined up this afternoon over in Arkansas County. Jefferson County, your severe weather threat will be coming to an end here in the next 30 to 45 minutes or so. Special weather statement on some storms in Ouachita, Calhoun, and Bradley. And I haven't paid a whole lot of attention to these storms in south central Arkansas because they haven't really shown much of a sign of strengthening until now. Northern Calhoun County, South Fordyce, and near Hampton, Arkansas, there's Union County. The southern rows of counties are the responsibility of Shreveport, these 3 right here, Lafayette, Columbia, Union County, Ashley, Chico County, that's Jackson, Mississippi, but Drew County, Lincoln, Big Fly. Drew County, Lincoln County, of course, Calhoun and Bradley counties, our responsibility, the National Weather Service here. put a little loop on this. Take a look at the last hour or so. Yeah. Damaging wind threat increasing between Elmira and Bayamida. Yeah, okay. Beginning to see that area bow out a bit, which would indicate some stronger winds, straight line winds. There you go. Last hour. They're moving along quickly. The cells are moving to the east at about 35 to 40 miles per hour. And here it is, 2:56, about 3 o'clock. I think the severe weather threat for Arkansas is going to end, I would say, by 5, maybe even a little sooner than that. We might have 1 or 2 cells in southeast Arkansas. A couple of cells that we have to keep an eye on in southeast Arkansas. Okay. Yeah, DeWitt, you've got a pretty good gush of wind headed your way with that severe thunderstorm warning. I'm going to go to live winds, see if we can pick up some rotation with this. Yeah, there you go. There's DeWitt. North of DeWitt, it's right here, this area here, some strong wind gusts. There's DeWitt. Here's the leading edge of the strong winds with that thunderstorm that's prompting that warning. And yeah, an area that's to the north that does also bear watching in Monroe County. Now that's going to be crossing into Phillips County. There's a little sliver of this box right here. That was the last warning the National Weather Service and North Little Rock issued for this. That's going to be moving over into Phillips and Lee counties, and the Weather Service in Memphis will take over there. And we'll keep our eye on what's happening here. Now that's okay. Okay. Right here. Some strong winds here, but there could be something coming together there. That's north of DeWitt. That's to the eastern side of 165. Not a tornado warning, but certainly something to keep in mind along Highway 130. There's Elmira. We talked about Elmira a few minutes ago. Along Highway 130, Highway 33. Crockett's Bluff is going to be in the path of this gush of wind as it moves to the east. So if you live in Crockett's Bluff and have family that live there and you're watching us this afternoon on THV 11 Plus, then you need to know that. Elmira, Crockett's Bluff. And I just looked up and noticed something. If somebody would reach out to our newsroom and have them put the banner back at the bottom of the screen for severe thunderstorm warnings, the crawl, please, that would be great. I'll tell you what, we're that. I can do this. Yeah, thank you, Roger. You take care of that like you have 15 other things going on at this time. So near Elmira and Kittlers, Arkansas, getting a pretty good shot of wind there that has the attention of the Weather Service. Lincoln and Drew County storm to the south has an increasing hail threat aloft, possibly $half sized hail. Thank you, JD. He beat you to it. He heard me. He's watching. Normally he doesn't watch me, but he's watching this afternoon. There are the other cells. Let me go back over here to our regular radar, and we'll await word on what they're going to do with that storm in Arkansas County. Increasing hail threat aloft with the Drew County storm. Ooh, there you go. South of Star City. And again, you see this appendage. You see how it's hooking back here? That storm strengthened really quickly. But then again, it's in an environment all by itself to really take in all of the storm fuel, all of that cape. Let me see what it looks like on Storm Track 11. And if you want to go to Storm Track 11, here's the cell right here they're talking about that is north of Monticello, north of Warren. Near Cornerville, Arkansas. It's going to be tracking to the east. Some major communities like Dumas is going to be impacted by it. Florence could be impacted, even Gould up the road there. But that is a 2-inch hail core, could be about 1.5 inches as it comes down to the ground. And while we're on storm track, we can go back up to Arkansas County here. Near DeWitt, some very strong winds could be occurring in that severe thunderstorm. 40+ mile per hour wind gusts. There's that new severe thunderstorm warning for Phillips County. So now the Weather Service in Memphis has taken over the warning up to the north there. Let's go back to live radar on Max 1. And that is a very intense supercell thunderstorm over northern Drew, Cleveland County. Star City, you're just to the north of the hail core at this time. Storm's moving to the east at 40 miles per hour. But again, there's nothing out here in front of it, but a lot of warm air, a lot of storm fuel. The Cape, convective available potential energy, these storms feed from that energy, and you get these giant thunderstorms. I'm curious how tall that storm top is. Ooh, 53,000 feet storm top on that one. And there is some rotation with it. Just looking around, there is some rotation with that, as it is showing that classic signature there. So I would say this: if you live in Deshay County, if you have family in Deshay County, this storm is going to move and cruise over the northern part of Drew County into Deshay near Dumas. The storm that's in the northern part of the county is going to impact the southern part of Arkansas County. And we even have a couple of cells out toward Fordyce and Hampton that will track through Bradley and Drew County here in the next 30 to 45 minutes. Severe thunderstorm warnings lining up in eastern Arkansas. I'm going to show you what this looks like on the statewide map this afternoon. One with a tornado possible tag that is now in Phillips County, Phillips and Lee County. There are our warnings that we are concerned with within our viewing area, THV11 viewing area. So far, so good. No tornado warnings here, but if you look to the north, just to the west of Memphis, in an area that has just been hammered this year with tornado warning after tornado warning, that is a tornado warning, considerable tornado warning here, likely considerable around wind. So it looks as if around the wind area they may have had another possible tornado there. Considerable. Looks like they, I think that's just considerable severe thunderstorm warning and a tornado warning from within. I read that wrong. My apologies. There's so many of those boxes. But yeah, tornado warning in effect just outside of Memphis. We don't have any tornado warnings yet. We have severe thunderstorm warnings in southeast Arkansas. That line continues to move to the east at a good rate and should be out of here by news time. Hopefully we'll have all of our newscasts tonight. And then we'll have a few days to rest and relax. Got to have more storms in the forecast as we head into the weekend, but certainly not expecting it to be as severe as this. Camera shot once again if you want to look outside. We're looking toward the southeast at the back edge of the thunderstorms that are occurring in southeast Arkansas. This is the back edge of that. You can see the overshooting tops, the towers building there. Those are the storms over, I would say, Jefferson County, Lincoln County, and you've got the Little Rock Airport there that we're taking a look at as well. So the storms, or at least the threat of severe storms, has ended in Little Rock. I'm going to walk outside while you look at that real quick. Storms have ended here, and it is drying out a bit. The wind appears to be more westerly. Yeah, west-southwest, so the front has cleared Little Rock and Pulaski County. That's good news. But our focus is on those storms in southeast Arkansas. Once again, live radar. If you're joining us this afternoon, take a little bit of a recap of what's happening. Jumped on here about 1:30. We had some severe thunderstorm warnings popping up, a new tornado watch that was issued. It's until 8 o'clock, but it's very possible that the watches for Arkansas will be gone by 5. I'm going to say. The northern extent of this line moving into the Memphis area, so the northeastern part of the state will more than likely see the watches dropped, but we'll keep the watches for southeast Arkansas until, of course, these storms get out of the way. All of this is in response to a cold front. Last night it was a 1-2-3 punch. We had our main area storms move through that brought a lot of heavy rain by 1 o'clock, and then behind it another line developed, and then another line developed behind it. So we had a 1-2-3 punch last night with strong storms that produce some very heavy rainfall. I'm going to have to get a little something to drink here, and I didn't bring my cup out here. I'm going to have to get JD to bring me some water. Thank you, JD. See, I just volunteered our assistant news director to provide me with a drink of water. Nathan is forecasting from home today. He's got to get up and play morning show tomorrow morning, and I know what that's like to pull that. He stayed late last night, early this morning. He stayed into the wee hours of the morning. So I told him that he could take care of a forecast. He's watching right now, and he's listening in, and he's doing the forecast for us this afternoon while I track the severe weather. But he's poised and ready. I know he's probably up. He's got his tie on. He's ready to go and track tornadoes if need be. Hopefully we won't have to deal with that. Yeah. So what I'm desiring right now, while I do this, maybe I should ask him nicely. Tracking that line of storms, several severe thunderstorm warnings. Our main concern is going to be some large hail and damaging wind. They're going to allow the severe thunderstorm warning for southwestern Jefferson, Lincoln, and northwestern Lincoln counties to expire. Cleveland, Jefferson, Lincoln counties, well, at least the Jefferson and Lincoln part of that to expire at 3:15. 8 minutes to go on that. That cell that is northern part of Drew County, it's really just crawling along southern Lincoln County. That is the most, I'd say the most impressive looking cell. Could be producing some, quarter size, not quarter, but $half sized hail with it. It's got a pretty good hail core with it. That's right in the northern part of Drew. This is Lincoln County, even back a little bit toward Cleveland County. And to the north of that, there's another severe thunderstorm warning, but it does not look like it's got the hail. This one may be taking away all of that one's energy. It's very possible. Sometimes that happens when you have cells that develop in an environment. This one is really taking in all of the warmth and moisture coming into it from the south. The one to the north of it gets robbed. So the one to the north weakens somewhat. This one still has a nice appendage to it. And if we can go to Storm Track 11, there is some rotation there, right here. There's some rotation that's matching up well. Let's see if they're going to pull. Replied to a thread. It's a storm north of Monticello trying to hook out. Definitely a hook echo, probably not a tornado threat at this time. Well structured, maybe packing 60+ mile per hour winds and large hail, but it's not quite there yet. They're keeping an eye on it. There could be some rotation there. It certainly catches our eyes. We can identify that. It's amazing. I haven't seen our assistant news director with any water for me yet. I don't know where he could be. Somebody get JD in here. Come over here, JD. I'm just kidding. Come here. Come be on TV. It's THV 11 Plus. Hey, Shayla did it earlier in the week. I want to introduce you to our family here at THV 11, the guys that say, Tom, get in there and do THV Plus. This is JD Roberts, our assistant news director. Thank you. You can go.
No problem.
Yeah. He's also on Plus doing reels with Michael Buckner. Yeah. There you go. Thank you very much. You didn't do anything to this water. Now, you brought it in a Halloween cup.
I'm trying to get a big cup. That's
Thank you. Thank you very much. Little sip coming my way. Yep. Thank you. That helps tremendously. Tracking severe thunderstorms this afternoon in Arkansas. The severe threat is over for the Little Rock metro area. Grant County, it's over for you. Lone Oak, it's over. White County, it's over. Faulkner County, yes, it's over. Call it a day. But let's see if they're still in effect. The Weather Service really hasn't had a lot of time to drop those counties on that western front yet, so we'll see if they have. They haven't updated it just yet. But you can go back to Max 1 here, Raj, if you don't mind. But really the threat of severe weather is primarily here over I'd say the southeastern rows of counties. Sharp County, Independence, Cleburne, Faulkner, Pulaski, although we technically still have a watch, the front is pushed through this area, thus ending the severe threat. The threat is now for eastern Arkansas. In fact, I would say that northeast Arkansas, Jonesboro, Batesville, Searcy, the threat or concern is pretty much ended for you this afternoon. Now, if you'll go to radar for me. There we go. Storms lining up in eastern Arkansas, even a couple of tornado-warned storms just outside the Memphis viewing area, the Memphis market. That includes wind, and that would be, I believe, Cross County. Yeah. Yep, Cross and St. Francis counties with tornado box there, a little severe weather box, okay? Or tornado warning, I should say, tornado warning box. Just getting some information from the National Weather Service this afternoon, okay? And even the Storms Prediction Center has updated their outlook for the afternoon, so that's certainly some good news. Looking better out there. Storms lining up here. There's a tornado warning here, a tornado warning in Memphis. I'm sorry, over in the Jackson area in Tennessee. Severe thunderstorm warnings here in southeast Arkansas. Looks like Bradley and Calhoun County are the latest warnings that we have. We'll go down there. They're in the THV11 viewing area. Maybe you got some family watching us from down there. The main threat is going to be some large hail and some winds about 60+ miles per hour. And although the one that's southern Drew County, riding along the border of Drew and Lincoln counties, looks, you know, like that classic signature hook echo. Right now, the rotation's just not there. But if anything is there, it is large hail. And that is our main threat here with these storms in southeast Arkansas. Some big hail there, but look how large it is now in southern Calhoun County. That southern tip along Highway 167, south of 172. Could be up to ping pong ball sized in the top of that thunderstorm, but as it drops off, it may melt a little. It's probably quarter size as it reaches the ground. Severe thunderstorm criteria, quarter size tail or wind speeds in excess of 58. Now up the road we go, north of Monticello. There's a storm that could be producing some large hail south of Star City along Highway 425. I'm looking at a picture of a lowering of the cloud base there. Still not picking up any rotation, but a lowering. Hail with that storm. And the storm to the north of it, that is over northern Lincoln, Cleveland, and southern parts of Jefferson County. I think what's happened with this storm is the storm to the south has taken its mojo. It certainly has weakened. The storm is still strong just west of Grady along Highway 65. There's a couple of more little cells near Rowell, Arkansas, and that extends down into northern Bradley County. Or southern Cleveland, northern Bradley County. Here it is, 3:13. A severe weather threat coming to an end in central Arkansas with that line of storms moving to the east, but it's a little bit of a different story with storms still ongoing in Arkansas County, Monroe counties, extending over into Phillips and Lee counties in eastern Arkansas. The storms could produce some large hail. I think that box is going to go away here soon, and our focus will be on the storms riding along southern Lincoln County. There's Star City and Dumas. You know, a lot of people will be gearing up, going to the beach on vacation. A lot of us take that road from Pine Bluff and US 65 all the way down into northern Louisiana. So between Star City and Dumas along Highway 65, a severe thunderstorm there. Lincoln County, Cleveland County with storms, and also Calhoun and Bradley County. Let me take this out a little bit broader. Easy to see where the storms are located across the region. Severe thunderstorm warnings all in a row here. And I'm just going to pull the warning box up there. Here we go. That shows you who's under the warnings. Tornado possible tag, tornado warnings here. The tornado warning that was located in Cross County has been allowed to expire. But we just have a little bit of real estate left in Arkansas, and we can call it a day in terms of our severe weather threat. And then we'll turn around and have a chance tomorrow, and also looking into the weekend. We're going to see the chances of rain off and on with these disturbances moving in the northwest flow aloft. This is what the storms look like. This is the last 1 hour loop. 1 o'clock, they begin to cook in central Arkansas. It's 3:15 now, and they've made pretty good inroads into eastern Arkansas, out and ahead of a frontal boundary. And that cold front has moved through the Little Rock area. You see the enhanced risk of severe weather for those two eastern rows of counties in eastern Arkansas. Slight risk there. Tornado threat is primarily from Phillips County over toward and north of into Mississippi County. Hail, quarter size or greater. I think that's our biggest threat this afternoon, and there could be a wind gust of 60 plus. So this is our afternoon and early evening threat. Tomorrow, the threat is a marginal one over the northern couple of three rows of counties. The front moves through, northwest flow aloft sets up. That provides us with a disturbance that could bring some hail to the state. That's our main threat for tomorrow. There's our boundary. Let me zoom in a little bit. On the west side of that front, it's still hot, but it's drying out. The dew points are dropping, but temperatures are still warm. That front will continue to quickly move to the east this afternoon. It has moved through Little Rock. I think it has moved through Jonesboro as well. Could probably push the northern extent of that front through Jonesboro area. All right, this was from Monday, so I have outkicked my coverage on this, but what I do want to do is talk about the timing of the storms and show our latest high-res information. There's the storms this afternoon as of 3 o'clock. I think they're out of here by 5 o'clock. There might be one or two hanging on in extreme southeast Arkansas, but the threat for our viewing area comes to an end. Overnight tonight, skies clear out. Temperatures are going to be cooler. They're going to drop off. Lower temperatures, drier dew point numbers. And then tomorrow afternoon and evening, we'll watch the northern part of the state for that next chance of a few storms. There you go, southern Missouri, northern Arkansas. That's what it's going to look like early Thursday morning, late Wednesday, early Thursday. That's indicative of that flow aloft, northwest to southeast, with some energy riding along that flow. So that's going to keep a chance of storms in the forecast, possibly storms that produce a little bit of hail. And then it looks as if Thursday during the day, another part of this system moves into western Arkansas, northwest, southeast. Again, our main threat is going to be some hail with that. Okay. Let's go to Storm Track 11 while I reset my graphic here. And there's how the storms line up this afternoon. Near Forest City, Helena, West Helena, Monticello, Star City got severe thunderstorm warnings. Severe thunderstorm warning, Calhoun, Bradley County, and some storms to our south over northern Louisiana. And luckily for our viewing area, we have not picked up a tornado warning. Luckily, not yet anyway. That storm over northern Drew County, southern parts of Lincoln County, has shown some signs of some spin there, some rotation, more likely a pretty strong updraft, and it's producing some very large hail at this time. And there you go, large hail, like I said, riding along the border of Lincoln and Drew counties, more down around the Hermitage area, back to the west-southwest of Hermitage in Bradley County. So these are the strongest cells, and also up the road, Arkansas County, DeWitt. Some big hail could be falling there. Severe thunderstorm warning continues for Lincoln, Drew, and Deshay counties. And that is, okay, the severe thunderstorm warning for East Central Cleveland County has been canceled, but this other warning continues this afternoon until 3:30. It's 3:19. We've got 11 more minutes to go on that warning. And I'll tell you, typically, folks, as a general rule, whenever we track severe weather, probably wouldn't track just plain old severe thunderstorms unless we had a reason to. And the reason to here is that we do have a tornado watch in place. But just general run-of-the-mill severe thunderstorm warnings that occur, probably won't do that. But, you know, we could, we might. But today it's because of this tornado watch that we have that is impacting us for the afternoon hours. And you're on THV 11 Plus, Facebook Live, also YouTube Live, just tracking a few storms this afternoon. Severe thunderstorm warnings are in southeast Arkansas today. Let's go back to Max 1. I got the 1 hour loop up. Let me explain what's happening here. Those blue lightning bolts, well, that's lightning, indicating how strong some of these storms are. They're broken apart. They're more individualized. They were lined up, but now they're broken apart. This cluster here in Cleveland and Lincoln counties coming together once again. There's the one for Calhoun and Bradley County. That's going to move into Drew, southern Drew, northern Ashley, and eventually southern Deshay and Chico County. But notice most of the state is now cleared out, dried out. It's still warm out there. The dew points are dropping a little. The temperatures are dropping a little. There's that risk of severe weather. Let me back up a little bit. I showed a little Tyro, Arkansas. Got a little hail. Looks like it's about nickel-sized hail in Tyro, Arkansas. Got pictures from the National Weather Service here. Okay. Just looking at information on that's coming down from the National Weather Service. Just with our warnings this afternoon, still counties that will have a threat of severe weather this afternoon are the ones being impacted currently. But you got Monroe County, Arkansas County, Deshay, Lincoln, Cleveland, Drew, Bradley, Calhoun, Union, Ashley, Chico counties. So it's this quadrant of southeast Arkansas, and it's 3:20. So by 5 o'clock, most of this is going to be out of the way. This is not going to impact our 5, 6, 6:30 newscasts. I know that Rolly Hoyt and Faith Woodard were looking for a day off today. Didn't have to worry about it because the weatherman, of course, seems to break into the newscast. But darn it, not today. Faith and Rolly are going to have to do the news today, and I'm going to have to eventually put together a weather forecast. Luckily, Nathan is helping out with that, and he's also putting some information on Facebook if you want to know more about what's going on around you. So we're keeping an eye on it. We got folks watching it for you this afternoon. Let's find out where these hail cores are located. I'm going to go to our hail now mode. Hail, yes, hail now, and we are picking up quarter-sized hail, possibly a little bit larger. I think the storms that are the most impressive with the larger hailstones now moving out of Calhoun into Bradley County, south of Hampton. And now Calhoun is out of the warning. Still have a severe thunderstorm warning for Lincoln and northern Drew, although the hail core appears to be more in Drew County now. And toward the DeWitt area, Arkansas County, southern Monroe County, over into Phillips and Lee counties. That's where we're finding some fairly large hail, ping pong ball possibly in size or larger. And that's the size that radar is reading way up high in the sky. But as that hail drops closer to the surface, it may melt a little bit. And, we get asked a lot, well, how does it form? You get the little raindrop that gets caught up in the updraft. The raindrop is taken up into the colder area of those thunder heads, and they freeze. They get heavy for the updraft. They drop on down, pick up a little more moisture around the hailstone, and then a stronger updraft takes it up. And this keeps cycling until eventually the hail gets too heavy for the available updraft, and it falls to the ground. So you got a strong updraft when you're talking about hailstones that are tennis, baseball, and softball sized. 4-inch hail. That takes a big updraft, 100-mile-per-hour updraft in those thunderstorms. So Arkansas County, you're almost done with it. You still have a little bit there close to DeWitt. Eastern Arkansas County, that's going to slide on over into Phillips County and eventually impact Elaine. It might actually graze the southern tip of Monroe. There's actually some overlapping severe thunderstorm warnings there. That blue area, the hail core is a little bit more intense on the southern side of Lincoln County. This is near Florence, Arkansas. And I think Tyro, I think that's down a little farther to the south. But Highway 54, 83, 277, this is where some of the bigger hailstones may exist for those folks. And the other hail core that we have, south of Jersey, Arkansas, to the west of Hermitage and Ingalls, that too could be some ping pong ball sized hail or larger. All right, so there you go. Those are the warnings. Let me go up here to our visible, our high-res visible. Question for the National Weather Service. We anticipate the tornado watch being trimmed back. I think we're going to see it trimmed back. Even though the front has passed through Little Rock, our temperature has jumped to 87. We've yet to make it to 90. It's 325. there's a chance with the sunshine and drier air moving in, we might jump up and hit 90. Camden's at 90 right now. It's easy really to pick out where the boundary is. Let me pause it. If I can pause it in the right spot. I may not be able to. Yeah, well. Really, it's moved through Jonesboro and it's passed through Searcy, Little Rock, Arkadelphia, Texarkana. There's still some spotty cumulus congestus up over northern Arkansas, but for all intents and purposes, the front has moved through. The severe weather threat still has a few southeast Arkansas counties to go. And I mentioned earlier, it's easier to point the front out when we look at the dew point numbers. And the dew point has really dropped off in Little Rock. It was a 74-degree dew point temperature, so now it's 62. Yeah, still some higher dew points in northeast Arkansas, but Batesville, Searcy, Little Rock, Arkadelphia, Texarkana, I think it's safe to say the boundary has certainly moved through there. With dew points in the 70s over eastern Arkansas, and the front has not quite completely passed through Pine Bluff, Stuttgart, Camden, or El Dorado, but here at 4 o'clock, we'll probably see those numbers drop off. Drier air, more comfortable air moving into northwest Arkansas. Should be a beautiful afternoon and evening. But we have to get through this tornado watch that remains in effect. But I really do think that we're going to see these counties trimmed back. I really also think that the brunt of the bad weather this evening is going to happen in Mississippi and in Tennessee. We still have our severe warned storms in southeast Arkansas for hail and for some wind gusts. But thinking that this area of Mississippi and Tennessee has the greater chance of severe weather. A new severe thunderstorm watch has been issued for northern Louisiana and southern Arkansas, El Dorado area. I think what we're going to do here, because we still got to get a little bit of weather forecasting done, and I also need to take care of taping a weather radio forecast for the radio stations. We'll carry this through 4 o'clock. I think most of this activity will be out of the THV 11 viewing area and most of the National Weather Service area as well. And that's certainly some good news. And we will see you again at 5 o'clock, but we'll carry this through 4 o'clock this afternoon. Unless I'm told differently, and I could be told differently. St. Charles, Arkansas has had quarter-sized hail. All right, a new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for Lincoln, Drew, Arkansas, and Deshay. So we're beginning to see the, the wrong way, extent. Yeah, there it is. That one that was over Lincoln County, northern Drew County is now being extended Okay. All right. They're just all trying to stay ahead of the warnings. They haven't had a chance to trim things back, but they're doing a heck of a job, Dennis and the gang over at the National Weather Service, but they will begin to trim back that tornado watch shortly. New warning issued for Dumas. There you go. Deshay County. This is the one that's cruising along. I mean, it's literally riding along the border of Drew and Lincoln counties. It's going to move into Deshay County. Already beginning to see some of it move into Deshay County. And then once that happens, then we won't have long to go for the severe weather threat here in eastern and southeastern Arkansas. Storm is a big one down in Bradley County. And Calhoun County is now out of that warning. Let's check out the hail. Since the main concern this afternoon are the hailstones near Mount Olive, southwest of Mount Olive, Highway 63 and 160, indicating some ping pong ball sized hail could be occurring with that storm. Up the road we go. Let's go back to the one we just talked about that is riding along the border of northern Drew and Lincoln County. Will be transitioning into Deshay County. This warning, is in effect till 4:15 this afternoon. We'll probably let it go since it's a hailer. But hail over Florence, Arkansas. Pretty good shot right there. Could have some ping pong ball sized hail. And that's definitely 1 inch or 1.5 inch hail there. Severe thunderstorm warning continues for those counties, those areas in Deshay County. Lincoln County, does not include Star City, does not include Grady up in Arkansas County. And the storms that are now moving out of the Monroe and Arkansas County area pretty much into Phillips and Lee County. So those are technically out of our viewing area and out of the National Weather Service area. And then more storms up in northeast Arkansas and east Arkansas near Memphis, taking care of that. And I think 4 o'clock is a good place to stop. It's 29 minutes. Most of this activity will be hugging the Mississippi River. There might still be a strong storm in Deshay County or even Ashley and Chico counties, but we'll take a pause because our directors have to put together their newscasts tonight. And if anything else occurs, we'll jump back in. I really am thankful that so far, knock on wood, we haven't had a tornado warning. Tornado watch was issued for the possibility. Ingredients are there, but severe thunderstorm warnings for large hail and strong wind gusts. And our storms are pulling away. I got our camera shot. The storms are pulling away. You can still see some of the storm structure off in the distance of these storms in southeast Arkansas. Pretty incredible shot. I'm going to do this while we have that there. Y'all hang with me. I am going to take this back around and look to the west. So you've got the front that's moved through the Pulaski County area. And to the west, we just have a few cumulus clouds, but skies have really cleared out. The dew points have dropped off. The air mass is drying out, and it's looking really good out to the west. Don't anticipate any more storm development today, but we could have some cumulus clouds develop and hang with us this afternoon. Some fair weather cumulus, but things are looking really good right now. There you go. That is our westbound camera shot. Drier air moving in behind a frontal boundary finally, and we really feel the benefit of it coming up a little bit later on tonight. Back to live radar we go on Max 1, southeast Arkansas, the focus. Cleveland, Lincoln, and Deshay counties, along with Bradley County. A little sliver there of Arkansas County under a severe thunderstorm warning over southern Monroe. Did that just get reissued? Give me just a second. Yep, Cleveland, Lincoln, Drew, and Deshay counties. Okay, that was at 3:30. Yeah, okay, severe thunderstorm warning. Arkansas and Monroe County just reissued for that cell, or those cells that are just to the east of DeWitt. Right there, that sliver of Arkansas and Monroe County, probably looking at some big hail with that right now. There you go, quarter-sized hail. That's our primary focus and concern. In Cleveland County, Lincoln County, northern parts of Drew County. You've got Deshay County here, Dumas, you're in that warning. So we're beginning to finally see a lot of these storms move out of the viewing area and moving away from southeast Arkansas. So some big hail is what's occurring. And even over Louisiana, hail is the primary concern and the primary threat this afternoon. On this Tuesday, there's the tornado watch. It's still in effect, but really you can clear out Pulaski, Lone Oak, White, Sharp, Lawrence, Independence, Cleburne. You could clear out Grant County. You could even clear out Ouachita County and Dallas counties. Your focus is for Monroe, Arkansas, Lincoln County, Drew County, Bradley County, Ashley, Chico, and Deshay counties. Phillips County too. So those counties really just have the brunt of the weather to contend with for the rest of the day. There's live radar once again showing those counties that are involved. Hope everybody's having a great afternoon. Tuesday afternoon. The rest of the week, the weather is going to get a little quieter, thankfully. We won't have to deal with as much severe weather. We still will have to deal with a little bit of rain. Wednesday, for the most part, looks dry, and even for a good part of the day on Thursday, that's looking dry. We'll see if Mr. Nathan has updated the 7-day forecast, and I'll share it with you here. While I'm tracking, he's forecasted. There you go. Well, he may not have time to put it in just yet. Let me do this. 335. Okay. Well, Wednesday, we are on Tuesday. Wednesday, Thursday, look dry. There'll be a chance of showers returning from Memorial Day holiday weekend. It's really the first weekend a lot of folks get out their boats, put them on the lakes. I call it a lake weekend. Look at those temperatures. You know, we've been running in the upper 80s, very warm and sticky, middle to upper 70s in the forecast as we head down the road into the weekend. Not a washout, but we will have chances for showers. Nathan Scott, I'm working on it, LOL. Well, work faster, Nathan. I'm only kidding. He's been keeping an eye on these storms in southeast Arkansas, posting information about it on Facebook and or other platforms. I appreciate that. So he's working on it, and we'll have more at 5, 6, 6:30, and 10 o'clock. Again, if you're joining us this afternoon, I've not been told I can't do it, but we will turn away from storm coverage here at 4 o'clock. I feel fairly confident the storms that are left in southeast Arkansas pose more of just a hail threat than anything else. Our visible satellite perspective shows the boundary is not got long to go. By 4 o'clock, most of the storm activity will be confined to Shea, a part of Drew County, maybe the southern tip of Arkansas County. And we will join you back here at 5 o'clock for our evening newscast. We'll have an update tonight, I'm sure, on the tornadoes that went through northwest Arkansas last night. And, you know, the weather from last night was really panned out. The moderate risk was for tornadoes and strong wind gusts. We certainly had the winds, but it was kind of, I'd say, interesting, neat, whatever, how the storms moved into central Arkansas and basically died down. They were just general thunderstorms, but what did pick up was the rain. It was torrential rain. And then we had another wave come in behind our first wave that ended about 1 o'clock, and then another one came behind that around 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. And a new watch had been issued, severe thunderstorm watch for southern Arkansas. Simone Thomas tracked those storms for you. So it's been a 2-day event, really. And I know that I hope this is it. I hope that we don't have to deal with, you know, that spring scenario with strong to severe thunderstorms or another round of it. Let's move into June. June is summertime. It's summer cereal drive time. Heading out on the road, going to a lot of locations, collecting cereal for those locations to give back to the food pantries there. That's coming up in June. And yeah, we're still a little concerned this afternoon about the weather and some of the hail that we might get. But the good news is a good part of the state, Jonesboro down to Camden, over to Texarkana, the storms and the risk of severe weather coming to an end for those folks. And again, the dew points are dropping off, drier air is moving in, more comfortable air mass coming into tonight. And as soon as they can, the Weather Service will start to drop off some of the counties that have been impacted by this tornado watch. So there you go. There's live radar. I'm going to keep it on live radar for a little bit. Let me take it back out a little further there. And let's take a look at a loop. A 1-hour loop. I guess I could do a 2 or 3 hour loop. But you'll see those storms moving into southeast Arkansas. Again, it's just the southeasternmost part of the state that bears watching. And again, this afternoon, it seems as if it's going to be more hail and wind, although there was a tornado warning just posted in northern Louisiana. But that's moving due east, so it should stay away from our counties in Arkansas. It can stay on those northern Louisiana parishes. And with the time that we have left with you here, it's right at 3:40 this afternoon. We will keep our focus on southeast Arkansas, those counties that right now are impacted with severe thunderstorm warnings. They do include Phillips County. They include Arkansas County, DeShay, Lincoln, a little sliver of Cleveland that's getting ready to move out of Cleveland into Lincoln County. You've got Drew County, Bradley. Union County has a thunderstorm that's going to move to the east. If it gets stronger, it will clip southern Bradley. Also into Ashley and Chico County. Severe thunderstorm warning has been extended into northern Ashley County, but not the northern part of that just yet. Go a little closer. And the main concern this afternoon is this. It's the hail. And the area with the largest hail right now is in southern Bradley County. Southwest of Mount Olive, along Highway 160, and they just extended that warning. National Weather Service just extended the warning. Southern Drew County. Let there be light. Okay. All right, so that's what we have going on. I'm looking at the hail size on that. It is potentially 1 inch or larger. You get up to that purple area. It could be egg-sized hail. Could be. Falls through the thunderstorm. Maybe it melts off a little bit as it reaches the ground. But that is the strongest storm that we have currently. In southern Arkansas, Bradley County. Bradley County is going to move across into northern Ashley County in Drew County. Those storms located in Cleveland County. You've got just a little bit of a speck there along Highway 63 south of Rowell that is going to move into Lincoln and northern Drew counties, and that'll be the end of that. Dumas into Shea County. You will have a little ways to go. And strong storms not warned, not severe warned, up toward the Gillette area on Highway 165. That's in southern Arkansas County. Let's see, Monroe County and even that tip of Arkansas County still with a bit of a severe thunderstorm warning. There you go. I'm getting ready to sneeze again. Excuse me. Thank you for turning my mic off, fellas. Yeah, thanks. Didn't give him enough warning on that one. If you're just tuning in, THV 11 Plus, and you were, let's see, 3:42 this afternoon. It's Tuesday. Nathan Scott's weather-wise, we preempted that. He'll have another one though next week. That comes around. I think it's at 3 o'clock. They'll have to correct me on that. Nathan knows. He'll pop in here in just a second. It airs Tuesday afternoons. Weather-wise is a chance for you to really watch Nathan get into the meat of the meteorology and really digs into topics and subjects. And this afternoon preempted a bit because of some severe weather. Want to make sure our Southeast Arkansas neighbors are safe. And what we're doing, this is our hail page with the hail that is occurring in these thunderstorms in Southeast Arkansas. Arkansas County, just east of DeWitt, strongest storm right now, or storms that we have. I think the strongest one is in southern Bradley County, and it's going to move over southern Drew and northern Ashley counties. I'm going to hang with it till 4 o'clock, take a break, let our directors direct shows, and breaking news. Tornado watch has been canceled. I'm going to call out your county name here. Tornado watch has been canceled for Jefferson, White, Independence, Prairie, Lawrence, Woodruff, Lone Oak, Sharp, Cleburne, Ouachita, Dallas, Grant, Calhoun, Faulkner, Pulaski, and a couple of other counties. Should be updating soon. And there they go. Those are the counties that have been removed. Now, National Weather Service takes care of this. In Little Rock, it's going to be up to the National Weather Service in Memphis. These counties are under their watch and their guidance. But right now, Monroe, Arkansas County, Lincoln, Cleveland, Bradley, Drew, DeShay, Ashley, Chico, Phillips, and Lee. Phillips and Lee are in West Memphis, or Memphis market as well. So Arkansas County still has a tornado watch. But the severe weather threat, again, has come to an end. And then there's reason that the watch is still here. You still have storms in Arkansas County. You still have storms in Phillips County. You still have storms in DeShay, Lincoln, Cleveland. Now, wait a minute. Cleveland get canceled? Oh, it's still there. Okay. Calhoun's been lifted. Bradley still has tornado watch, but not before long. 3:45. We've got 15 minutes to go here. You're watching THV 11 Plus. You're watching it on Facebook and YouTube this afternoon, and I appreciate you folks hanging out with us and watching with us. Tornado Watch, they're putting it on Facebook right now. The Tornado Watch canceled for several. Roger Gray's directing up this afternoon along with Perry Black. Gentlemen, hope you're having a good afternoon. Didn't mean to make your afternoon long, but yeah, tornado watches do that sometimes. Our severe thunderstorm warnings remain in effect until 4:15. Follow the arrow for Lincoln County, northern Drew, and Deshay County till 4:15. There's another warning a little farther to the south. No, what are you doing? It'll pop back up there. That's till 4:30 this afternoon. We're going to top out, and we're going to leave you at 4 and meet you back here at 5 on THV 11 Plus for our newscasts. We didn't really get well, we had newscasts last night. We got to them last night. That's right. The weather really didn't get active until later. We got through 13 minutes of the 10 o'clock news when our first tornado warning of the night came down, and then we had a few more. The National Weather Service is going to take a look at the damage that occurred in Bismarck, which is in Hot Spring County. They'll probably do that tomorrow. May have been a brief tornado there. We know that we had tornadoes in northwest Arkansas. Don't know how many, but we're getting awfully close to 40 tornadoes for spring. Our average is right around 37, I believe. It's either 37 or 39. So we're well ahead of the curve, and we still have our late fall and winter season to go through. But more tornadoes in Arkansas. Yesterday and last night, northwest Arkansas was hit very hard, and we may have had a brief one there in Hot Spring County that popped up last night. This afternoon, it's severe thunderstorm warnings. It's been mainly some large hail, quarter-sized hail being reported, even a few wind gusts here and there. And the warnings that we have right now, and I'm going to check the warnings just to see. I don't think we have any tornado tags. I think they're just regular here in our viewing area, just regular old severe thunderstorm warnings, although there is a tornado tag or a tornado possible in Phillips County with that storm. Let me look at live wind, see what's going on there. Maybe there's some rotation. Well, it looks like now it has moved. Yeah, there's something here. Southwest of Helena, West Helena, but it's kind of out of that box. It's north of Elaine. So if there's anything there that could be rotating, maybe a wall cloud, lowering of a cloud base that's showing some rotation there. But for the most part, it is in Lee County and not Phillips. Now, for the rest of us, within our wind mode, I don't really see that. What we do see, though, is some hail. There you are. Live radar looks like this. The focus is for these cells in southeast Arkansas here for the next 11 minutes or so. And hopefully nothing wacky will happen where we'll have to break in. We'll keep an eye on things. But Drew County, thunderstorms occurring with you. There's a cell over Monticello. It's strong, not severe. A few more cells trying to come back together here ahead of that front in southern Bradley, northern Union County. The cells in northern Ashley County will extend over into Chico County. Drew into Deshay County, Lincoln County. We're going to follow this almost to the very end before we pop off. But storms have been moving at 40 miles per hour to the east, and so they are moving at a really fast pace. The good news, tornado watches have been allowed to expire. Go back up to that page. And Pulaski County's out of it, Lonoke County, Prairie, Woodruff, White, Independence, Jackson, Lawrence, Sharp, Randolph, South Central Arkansas, Calhoun, Ouachita counties, Dallas, Hot Spring, Grant, Jefferson counties, no longer in the tornado watch till 8 o'clock. Again, I thought a lot of this is going to, and still by 5 o'clock, nearly all of our counties will be out of the tornado watch. So thanks for hanging out with us today on Facebook. Appreciate that. And also THV 11 plus. Severe thunderstorm warning for southeastern Cleveland County has been canceled. So Cleveland County severe weather threat is coming to an end. Now it's just all about Lincoln County and Arkansas County and Deshay and Drew. There you go. Those are the counties in the THV 11 viewing area that still have warnings, and also the responsibility of the National Weather Service in North Little Rock. And it's all severe thunderstorm warnings that are in for some hail. There could be some strong wind gusts with this. Right at 8 minutes to go before we send it back to THV 11 Plus's regular programming. But again, we'll see you at 5 o'clock. Got to work pretty quickly to get a forecast assembled here this afternoon. And hopefully we'll have some better weather conditions for you in that forecast. Let's see if anything's changed with a 7-day. Probably not. Yeah. Okay. Oh, and by the way, we are no longer under, you see the little weather impact alert, we're not under a weather impact alert this afternoon. Since the tornado watch has been canceled, no more impact alerts. Turning out to be a beautiful afternoon, though. Just a few fair weather cumulus clouds out looking to the west. Drier conditions, cooler conditions will be moving in over the next few days. While 70 for Fayetteville, Little Rock is at 87, Camden is at 90, and look how quickly we have cleared out behind that front. That front is still hanging on to East Arkansas counties. You can see the flare-up of big thunderstorms now over in western Tennessee and Mississippi. Big storms coming together in northern Louisiana, and the storms here in southeast Arkansas also very formidable there. Clearing out. It's very warm out there, but I'll take it. I'll take the lower humidity and the drier air any day of the week. Hot and steamy. It's been just very warm and sticky. All right, I said at 3 o'clock we'd have an update on our dew point numbers, and they continue to drop. That's good news. Little Rock right now with a dew point in the lower 60s, and that continues to drop. Dew point numbers in the middle 50s to low 60s over a good part of western and central Arkansas. The watches are coming to an end. Counties in yellow still hanging on to that watch until 8 o'clock, but I doubt very seriously we'll see that make it to 8 o'clock for Arkansas. Everything else to the east of us will more than likely be extended a little while. Live radar again with the storms. Oh, that's nice. Pictures from the National Weather Service. Looks like a lowering of a cloud base there, but no tornado. Severe thunderstorm warning or two remain here in southeast Arkansas. There's that. Move that out. The tornado warning pops up for Parrish in Louisiana. These are the storms that we're concerned with in the southeast, and they are eventually coming to an end. They're moving into and out of our viewing area into eastern parts of Mississippi. So coming up tonight during the weathercast here at 5 o'clock, we'll take a look ahead at the weekend, kind of give you an idea of what you can expect, how warm it's going to be. Memorial Day holiday weekend, the unofficial beginning of summer, and I'm sure folks will want to pull their boats out and get out on the water at some point this weekend. And we're cooling off a bit. After a very warm first couple of weeks of May, we're going to see those temperatures drop off a bit during the day for afternoon highs. They will only be in the upper 70s to low 80s instead of the middle to upper 80s. You'll also notice that it'll feel a little bit drier. We've had a lot of moisture recently, so the dew points will drop off. It'll feel a little bit drier in some places, but we'll have to contend with the pesky northwest flow aloft. That will bring the opportunity for a few showers and thunderstorms pretty much every day. Not going to last all day. They'll be scattered in nature, but these little complexes of storms will track across parts of Arkansas. Storm moving into Winchester. They're taking a look at it for some rotation, but there's certainly a lowering with that picture. One hour radar loop. 3:55. We got 5 minutes to go before we call it an afternoon on THV 11 Plus. And we appreciate you hanging out with us today. Just kind of a casual afternoon. With Plus, it's a little more casual, you know. And if I had had questions up, I could have answered them, but I haven't had the questions up this afternoon. And I'm sure Nathan's been answering the questions for us. All right, storms. There's what's left. A strong thunderstorm moving out of Bradley County now into southern Drew in northern Ashley County. There's a few more cells back here. That may be the reason why Bradley still has the tornado watch. To the north, that storm is now through northern Drew and it looks like southern Cleveland, southern Lincoln County. And that storm also extends over into Deshay County. And the main concern with that is the big hail that we've had this afternoon. Just another little shot there showing you the storm to the south of it, Mount Olive, a community there in Bradley County, southern Drew County, northern Ashley County, north of Hamburg. A little bit more of a hail core with that storm. Okay. The top severe thunderstorm warning is in effect till 4:15. The bottom one is in effect until 4:30. Pardon me, I had to answer a message. Okay. Running up on 3:57. We got 2.5 minutes to go. Said we stay here till 4 o'clock. The severe threat coming to an end for most of Arkansas, except for those southeast corner counties. We're still going to see a few strong storms this afternoon. They could produce some big hail, quarter-sized hail. There could be some wind gusts in excess of 60 miles per hour. Hopefully the storms won't take on rotation once we jump off of here. They haven't been. There have been one or two that have, kind of had some rotation with them, but some strong updrafts and some big hail. That's been our primary risk and concern this afternoon with this latest risk of severe weather, of which is enhanced in eastern Arkansas and a little better chance of severe across the river in Mississippi and Tennessee. Cluster of storms continues from near Dumas down to Monticello. Cross it in Ashley County. These storms will contain some hail. Could have quarter or larger sized hail with these storms. They're moving to the east at about 40 miles per hour. The warning's in effect till 4:15 for this polygon, in effect till 4:30 for this one. And honestly, here it's almost 4 o'clock. This one might actually outrace the box there. So Chico County may be included here. And I would imagine, they backed up the Bradley County severe thunderstorm warning. Okay. So it won't be long. It won't be long. We're running out of real estate here in Arkansas for a severe weather threat. It's now 3:59. And once again, I thank you for hanging out with us. For those of you, folks always seem to want weather, especially severe weather information. You're watching THV 11 Plus coming up tonight again at 5, 6, 6:30, and 10. We'll have the latest on the tornadoes and the damage around the state. Again, National Weather Service is going to be heading out to Hot Spring County at some point. Probably tomorrow, taking a look at damage there. And I'm sure the folks up in Northwest Arkansas surveying the damage. I'm sure those will be the stories, some of the stories we cover tonight for you at 5, 6, 6:30, and 10. I'll have the latest on the forecast, and we'll take a look ahead to the weekend and kind of give you an idea of what Memorial Day could look like. Let's hope it's a lot calmer and cooler. Here it is 4 o'clock. Thank you for joining us. We'll take you back to our programming on THV 11 Plus.